of On the Table Stop with myself, Virgil Levenger, and Askren. There was a question. I actually want to address this. Is it racist to portray a duck that likes salmon in a slightly, I'm going to call maybe New Yorker, maybe Jewish? That's a curious question, and I want to hear the answer. Because stereotypes have power for us, especially as kind of GM voice actors. I mean, clearly we can hear Virgil doing a Russian guy, and if he was asking for vodka, I'm interested. I want to know from the audience. I want to know from my fellow players. I want to turn the grill on. Is it racist to buy in a stereotype? Because, and here's my play. I don't think it is. We're clearly doing this in jest, not in any mean-spirited way. And we're evoking a type of character that's familiar enough to you where you're not like, well, this is a duck. Now you're like, this is a duck who likes salmon. And his butt hurts.
So,
I don't know. I want to hear your replies.
I think that most people that are offended by something are generally upset.
I don't know. Be very careful about that one.
Just generally upset, like in general. And that they're going to find lots of things to get upset about.
I disagree.
And they're, or they're looking, they want to be upset about it. It's, I don't think it's a thing that, like, for instance, beating a dog is objectionably terrible when anyone sees a dog getting beat.
That is one way to instantly make sure that people hate a villain is to have him beat a dog.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I've had 3 villains do that. People who are like, I don't know, maybe he's a good guy. He kicks a dog, immediately they're like, all right, we have to murder him now. He's clearly Satan.
Yeah. So that offends me, seeing someone would kick a dog. Like, you know, like, but not in media, because it's not real, right? So if I see a character in a movie
like
or
in that
video game,
Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, Kickboxer, where they kill his dog, but secretly the dog isn't dead, it was just sleeping the whole time. That was a dumb movie.
Yeah, so really I mean,
Askren, got any thoughts in here?
People getting offended at things that aren't real, such as the duck character, is a bit much for me. And also, I feel like,
well, it's not that he's not real. He's representative of something, right? That's the whole point.
Are you specifically referring to what I said? Because I was joking, but I think I was responding to.
No, but I mean, it's actually a serious discussion, though.
I think the only reason I made the joke was because of the locks thing. Like, I was like, oh, what? Because he's Jewish, he likes locks. What is this?
No, I like locks. I mean, let me tell you something. I have a store near me called Aldi. It's like the European version of Trader Joe's. They're both owned by the same family. And this Aldi store, for the last few months, has had locks every single day. I could go there and be like, all right, I'm gonna get some locks. Right? Then some motherfucker bought all of it. He would go into the store and buy like $300 worth of locks every day. They would have no stock. Now,
which isn't even very much. That shit's expensive.
They don't even stock it anymore. They stopped stocking it because they sell it directly to this guy. He bulk buys like $1,000 worth of locks on a weekly basis, and they don't have any locks to give to the. I'm so mad. I literally haven't had salmon for like 2 months. It's terrible.
You can only buy salmon now if you buy it in like $2,000.
I think you're thinking of caviar, but also, second of all, I just do my pen.
Oh wait, that shit's like $10, $12 a pound at least, right? No,
I have no idea. But
I think like a few slices of locks is going to cost you like $10, a tiny little bit.
I have locks downstairs in my fridge.
Look at this.
I'm not joking. Like, but no,
Salmon's got that delicious mouthfeel.
I don't remember what I don't remember what I was gonna say. I was gonna say something else, and I don't. Oh, I was gonna say about the store. Like, why would they stop stocking it? Like, if they're selling it all,
they direct sell it to him. They just get like a box, and they
just put his name on it.
Yeah,
wait for him to show up.
They just give him the box. What's in the box? The box full of salmon.
But like,
they still sell salmon, right? They literally have salmon to sell, but not lox anymore.
So as a Jewish man, I like salmon. But also as a Jewish man, I see lots of people get offended about people making fun of Jewish people by doing an imitation of one or portraying a caricature.
I don't see. Here's okay.
And I want to tell those people, hey man, I'm not bothered.
But so okay, so
he can relax.
So here's the thing. My friend Aiden Chan, he makes some of my music and themes and stuff. He is an Asian dude, obviously, because his name is Aiden Chan. And he asked a question on Twitter that said, "Is it racist for someone to do like an Asian accent for a character? Like if a DM has to do?" And I said, okay. If there is one accent that a DM is not allowed to do, then there are no accents that he's allowed to do. Then he can't do any of them because how do you like, oh yes, a DM can't be like, oh hello, I talk like this now. But he also can't be like, oh hello, I talk like this now. Like if you can't do one, then why can you do any others? Right?
I agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll do anything that I like physically can do. Like if I can do,
well, yeah, because it's not
play a character as it.
Because it's a character, like it's in the same sense as like what if you're representing something. Like I am not an Asian person. I'm also not a Russian. I'm also not. I don't have a Southern accent, right? But if I need one for a character, then I'm the only one there to do it, right? So either my choice is attempt it, probably poorly, but it gets the scene across, or just be like, nah, I'm just gonna talk in my normal voice. And as a DM, I don't like to do that. Like I always want to be in character. So I don't know.
I get it.
I'm just of the camp that like if we're gonna put one thing off limits, then everything's off limits because that's the only thing that makes sense to me.
And the last thing I want to do is use my voice every time I play a PC.
This has been a discussion I've been having for about 7 years since the Pathfinder Society, where someone asked me to stop using an accent because he thought it was offensive. And I'm always curious about people's answers. They're usually somewhat different, but generally on the same conclusion.
I mean,
I did that straight up Woody Allen character. Right?
Yeah. Yes, you did.
I'm pretty sure I've done like fairly.
You did the Jamaican character. That was how I found you.
Winston.
Terrible.
I did. Oh God, why can't I remember his name? Spears of the Dawn.
Kinsey.
Kinsey. No, that Kinsey was.
Oh no, Kinsey was your Mistborn character. That's right. He ate people.
The South African accent.
Yeah.
That was a tough one to pull off.
Yeah. I just think the thing about it is if as a DM I am no longer allowed to do certain things at the table, then that means that I'm basically limited to writing a world consisting of me and no one else. And that's a boring game.
So on the other side though, if you're playing with a group of people and one of them says, I'm sorry about this, but like I'm just weird about sex. I'm uncomfortable about it. If we can just stay away from like kissy scenes or like sexy scenes and stuff, can we please not do that? Or if so there's plenty of things like a player can say, can we not go do this? Can we not do that?
Yeah, no, but that's a different thing. Is when a player says, okay, like sits down and says,
I'm afraid of spiders.
This is a thing that I like that I have a hard time dealing with. That's fine. We can have an adult conversation about that. As a DM, I can say, okay, we'll
So that is cutting into your like well of things to draw from, right?
But sort of, except for the fact that someone who says, hey, I have a really hard time with these things, can we just not do it? Like I can still use those themes in a game, just I approach them slightly differently. But if a player says, nope, this is wrong, stop doing this, you can't ever do this again because I don't like it, like then we're not having a conversation, you're making demands. And that's a different thing. I don't like, I don't like being given ultimatums. Like, I'm happy to have an adult conversation about, themes and how we approach things. I've had, again, I have a talk show where I talk about this stuff. And one of the topics that's come up a few times is using role-playing games as a way to approach difficult topics because of the sort of simulation aspect of it. It's not a real thing. You can sort of approach it from a slightly therapeutic or dissociated.
I mean, we're talking about consensus now.
Right. So if then we kind of feel like there's a line though where people say, I don't want to consent to Asian accents in the campaign, where suddenly they've gone from spiders and sexy times to you using a specific accent.
But the thing about it is, what makes that specific accent off limits? And
I mean, it would probably be like a triggering thing, like like I get triggered because of this.
But again,
incident or
my only position here is if someone tells me I can't do one, then that means I can't do any of them, because they're, whose feelings do I have to account for? Everyone's? Because there's someone that's going to be offended by everything, right? That means if I can't do the Asian accent, I can't also do the the gypsy accent or the Russian accent.
At which
or the
point
Southern
you're taking
accent.
down a list, right?
I actually have to stop you real quick because that's my trigger word. Gypsy is a racist.
Oh yeah,
by the way.
Yeah,
it's Romani. It's Romani.
Fair enough. Yeah, I have there's a in my
that's my berserk button right there.
I play a Pathfinder game, and I call them Varisians.
Varisians. Yep.
And I never address them in the real world. Without I never address them without that term, but I kind of sometimes stop myself and realize that people don't know what I'm talking about.
Romani.
Fair enough.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you came for the role-playing game show art, but you stayed for the role. Well, maybe you didn't stay. Of course, if you're here listening
let me check my numbers. Yeah, no, you stayed for the
analytics. Analytics are a thing.
You stayed for the role-playing game talk. Let's go. I want to say, Askren, by the way,
1 second.
Virgil and I screwed off during the break to go walk around and go to the bathroom. You literally stayed, and we're just like, all right, Wolfman, let's keep working at it.
Why not?
You're hardcore, man. You're friggin' hardcore.
I got my dinner. My hot dog is done now, but I had it with me, and I don't really have to go to the bathroom because I did that at work, so I'm all right.
Dedication right here. And you do art shows, right? You do Exploding Dice Creative sometime, right?
Oh yeah. So back when I was sort of coming up with, okay, how do I add more content to my week? I developed the idea because I used to make before I started streaming. I used to make maps. I still do, but I don't have as much time to do it as I used to. And so I was like, okay, we'll do Map Monday, and because I wanted to get back into it. So I was going to use Mondays as a time to make maps for my games and do it on creative stream and stuff. But I also started doing like concept art and character illustrations and stuff. And then so it evolved from like a Map Monday to just sort of a creative Monday.
So what you're saying is, if people want to see more of your drawings, they can go to twitch.tv/explodingdice. Go through your backlog of VODs.
Yeah, I mean, some of them will be out there. They can do that. Yeah, I don't see why not. It's not illegal yet.
I mean, it's just content, so technically it should never be illegal.
I mean, your ISP might sell that information of what you're doing to somebody.
Let's get past that discussion. I'm gonna hit that thing with a hammer. All right, let's talk about our Wolven man here.
Talking about hit things.
Yeah, tell me about him, man.
The wolf is standing in his skinny jeans that Vladimir has just focused in on like a bloodhound. He's got his sword flashing. It looks like Ned Stark's sword. I know it might be hard to remember given that it was 7 years ago, but Ned Stark had a sweet broadsword called Ice. It's not like a Cloud Strife Buster sword. It's like an actual functional longsword. And he's waiting in the ice fields of the north with his longsword, waiting for you, Vladimir, and your bear friend Dondarian, and your unnamed duck friend. His name is Donald. His name is Donald. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it.
Can you do me a quick solid and like tell me anything about the sword, like what its quillions look like?
I don't even know what quillions are, man. I know about like tangs and the thing that goes down the center of the blade, the fuller ring.
Fuller.
Is
Yeah.
is a quillion the like swirly bit
Quillion is the
at the base?
the
swirl?
is like sometimes called the pieces of the crossguard.
Oh, like yeah, okay. Let's see here. It's probably one of those blades. The advanced blade it tapers, so it's like thinner at the pointy end, and then it gets bigger as it goes farther down. For sword weight. Oh, you've already kind of got something like that. Yeah, excellent. I mean, that's an extremely advanced sword design. There's probably a fuller down the blade as well, because who wants to get their sword stuck?
That's not what it's for. It's not a blood groove.
It's also for reduced weight. Yes.
Yeah, basically.
I mean, it does work great as a blood groove. Let's be clear. But I feel like the crossguard. What's kind of a woven symbol here? What do we got?
I don't know, man.
It's like a bone.
Oh, I like that. Like a dog bone.
I'm gonna make it a femur. I like it. I like a femur.
Perfect. Yeah. Excellent.
Which means
that's
sort of
awesome. Yeah.
sort of uneven, a little bit like that.
Oh,
There we go.
Yeah, that's sick as shit.
What about the pommel? What is it? What's going on with the pommel?
I feel like moons are a very good symbol for wolves, right? So maybe the pommel's shaped like a moon, and it's got the
Like a crescent moon kind of thing going on.
That's
like
pretty
that?
cool.
Yo, man,
Like
that
that?
actually. I would
Ooh.
use that sword in Final Fantasy 14, man. Give it some particle effects. I'm 100% behind this.
Wait, hold on. I got that.
Oh, you're like, all right, dude, I got particle effects for days.
Dude, now I'm scared. That's gonna give some extra damage.
The particle effect. You get hit by it and it's swoosh.
Yeah. When I see the particle effects, I just run.
Oh, it's good. That's good right there. Yep. You know that is a sword that's got things going on.
Ooh.
That's
It's so good. All right, so Dondarrion, it's not like Dondarrion is stopping to consult you, but he does look sideways at you and gives you that bear look like, what gonna do?
I'm gonna pull my warhammer and charge headlong at this thing on my waddly little hind legs.
Dawn is gonna right there with you.
Awesome. What about Duck? I look behind me?
Oh, they're both named Dawn because his name's Dondarrion and the duck is named Donald. All right, we need a new name for the duck. I'm workshopping names for the duck. We can't have two Dons. The duck's name is Jim. There we go. Draper. Oh, I like that one. Draper. Yeah, Draper is charging next to you. He
Awesome.
does not have like a big weapon. In between the feathers of his wings, he swooshes.
Oh my god!
And like Maeve from what we were talking Illidan earlier, like Warcraft, he's got a fan of knives between his feathers. And he starts like chucking them in front of you, so that the wolf has to like ching 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 as you move forward. Draper is covering your assault. And so as a result, you're not going to have to defy danger just to get close to this guy. But what are you doing? Tell me what's happening.
Okay, well, I charge up to him and say, "Whom do you serve? Why you try to take my precious relic?" As I'm like swinging at his skull.
So I guess the question is, what's more important to you here? Getting an answer out of him or hitting him in the skull?
I'm figuring that like at the moment where he's probably just going to be able to, defend attacks initially. So I'm trying to interrogate him while, we're doing like the feel each other out. How much skill does this guy actually have? Sure. Like I'm not going 100%. I'm just making sure that he has to keep busy. So I'm trying to talk to him.
Discern realities then. Roll plus wisdom. We're back to rolling things. It's crazy.
Oh my god! Ollie goodness, that's a 3.
I'll tell you what happens. My friend. As you're fighting him, he's doing that thing that world-class martial artists do, where he's moving as little as possible. He's like defending your attacks, blocking the thrown daggers, and just like pivoting slowly, not like stumbling back, not taking back steps. He's moving very carefully backwards. And that's when he undoes the belt on his pants, and you can see as the pants drop down that much like Goku, he was wearing weighted training pants.
Oh my
And
god.
he steps out of them into the crunching snow and is just like, I suppose it's time for you to take on my true power. The power of the god of battle. And he brings the sword back up. Particle effects everywhere. And he comes down with a pommel strike when you're not expecting it. You're like getting ready to block. Pommel strike with that crescent moon end. Hit you right between the eyes. Roll a d8 plus 3. That's how much damage you take.
Jeez.
As soon as I saw that crescent moon pommel, I knew someone was going to get hit in the face with it. I didn't know who. But...
Oh my god!
No!
Oh my god!
11 points of damage! The only time you can roll good is when you're hitting yourself.
Stop hitting yourself.
Your little badgery nose gets hit once again. Blood gushing out of it. You look totally badass.
Yeah, and I'm like now, like blood vision comes in, and I go full animalistic on his ass. I'm gonna just drop my warhammer and try to tear at his throat.
Okay, roll hack and slash for strength.
A 9.
All right.
Okay.
So you get in there. You have an option. You can do an extra d6 of damage, but expose yourself. Oh no, it's on a 7 and 9. You do the damage, but the enemy makes an attack.
Trading blows.
Yep. You get in there, you smack at him, you boop him on the nose, right? And as a wolf, he's like, woo! But in the process, he gets a blade up between you and uses it to force you off of him. Using it like a plank.
I rolled a 1 on my d6.
Wow. All right. Well, now you need to roll a d8 plus 3 to yourself. So you deal a very minor damage to him. You literally, not Zarya, Sombra boop him on the nose with your claw.
All right, I'm looking very rough.
That actually hurt.
Yeah, as I'm like thrown back away from my lunging attack, I'm going to scramble backwards and see if I can like get the bear to take an attack. Like a scramble behind.
Okay.
What's his name? Donovan?
Dondarian. Yeah,
Dondarian?
go ahead and roll Defy Danger with Dexterity. You're trying to disengage from combat, and then throw the bear into it.
Yeah, so I'm just like back up. Yeah, right behind this big giant
All right, yeah.
roaring
You
mad
have
bear.
a 12. That's a really good roll, because otherwise the bear probably would have taken a swat at you. You roll behind the bear, who, rather than like all of the other anthropomorphic animals we've seen so far, he's not trying to fight on 2 legs. He's literally just bear moding it forward and just charges towards the wolfman. Slams into him with the headbutt. The bear is getting slammed on by the crescent hilt of the blade. They break apart. Swoosh. They do the Dragon Ball Z style, not like charging up, but there's like a weird wind around both of them that clears the snow around. So you can tell that they both have a lot of spiritual pressure. The bear seems to be worse off from this. And what do we name the duck again? I feel like I should have written this. Draper is like, I'm out of knives. Do you have anything?
Yes, I do have some knives. I just I'm like I've got knives in my bag. Here, take as many as you need. I'm gonna like drop my backpack and then like rush forward again, trying to get to the items that he had.
You're gonna go for the relics.
Yeah.
All right. There's no roll. Yeah. Draper just starts pulling fans of knives out. Swoosh, 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 swoosh. And he's just like, how many knives did you pack for this journey? I don't even see you using a knife. You're using your claws.
I just packed whatever was in my kitchen.
I think I became Zoidberg at that point. Why not Zoidberg?
Why not?
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, you slide baseball home run skid into the pack of relics. There are 4
Okay.
relics here.
So the 4 relics. I see my finger.
Yep, you see the finger bone.
My finger points.
Yep.
What did the bear say he was missing?
The bear had
What
a
else?
weapon. I think it was the sword of Ursa.
Oh yeah, so the sword.
The sword of Ursa is.
It was a seax, by the way.
Oh, it was a seax. Yeah, that's right. It was the sword axe thing that the Nords.
It's a Viking thing.
Yep. It's like a choppy. Yeah, you see the seax. It seems to be carved from the claw of an enormous bear. It's like bear claw carved. There we go. Like bone carved, but from bear claw. This bear would have had to have been the size of a tree.
Okay, so I'm gonna pocket the finger and then pick up the giant bear claw blade.
It's lighter
axe.
than you'd think.
Okay, and then I'm going to trundle with it over to the bear. I'm going to try to like launch it over to him like in mid battle so he can like reach up and grab
This
it.
is some Final Fantasy 15 stuff. Noctis! He grabs the sword in midair. Link strike! That game is amazing for teamwork. That game is
Yeah, I want to link strike. I want to link strike this guy.
I mean, yeah, you link strike, no problem. Armed with the hereditary weapon of Ursa, the bear quickly turns the tide of battle. There's lots of sparks from the clashing of the axe upon the sword, and ching, ching, particle effects are going everywhere. The bear weapon starts glowing blue. His sword starts glowing red. It's crazy as shit. It doesn't look like anybody's really winning here, and Draper's just like, oh boy, I don't know here. This is a little bit outside of my league. He rushes forward and goes for a ring that's near where you were.
Okay, I'm gonna what's it called? Defend him.
Okay. All right.
Can I just say, somehow I ended up with this epic group shot of the fucking badger, the bear, and the duck, and they are not remotely this epic, but we're gonna do it anyway.
No, they're definitely this epic. They're getting it together. It's
I
like
love the duck fling is so good. It's got such good movement.
I don't know how I ended up here, but
listen, it's like Avengers, right? Like
this is that Avengers moment.
Yeah, they're completely disconnected at the beginning, but by the end of the movie, they all get together, and then Captain America's like this, and this, and then Hulk is like, rah!
Then Hulk wins for them.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Hulk just basically wins all the time. He's a friend from work. Go ahead and make your defend roll. It's plus your Constitution rating. Good luck.
Okay. Oh, partial success.
All right. I think you get.
So I get to hold one.
All right. As long as you stand in defense of Draper, when you or the thing you defend is attacked, you may spend hold 1 for 1 to choose an option.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Here's what happens. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
Out of nowhere, an RKO. I know. You didn't expect that, right? The rabbit comes sailing out of the forest from atop a branch where no one had seen it.
Oh my.
Grabs the duck as he passes by. Boom! RKO. The ring goes flying, and the rabbit is just like, okay, all right, we doing the fighting thing? Is it? Okay, Royal Rumble.
This rabbit. Fuck this rabbit.
The rabbit's holy symbol is a gold championship belt. That's what was stolen from him, and he's going for it. Like, he sees you looking at it, and he puts his foot on it. He's like, all right, well, those two go sort their business out. You and me, I think the duck's out for good.
Okay. I am going to hold on a second. What can I do that's good here?
You're like, I don't know, pile driver, 619, that thing where you slam somebody through a table. Like, what are my options here?
No. I know what I'm gonna do.
German suplex.
I start. I'm like, hold on, and I like start like rolling my shoulders like I'm getting ready to fight, and I'm like have like one hand up, like I need a second, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is he like letting me? So and then I start kind of like going around him in a circle, right? Kind of circling around him, circling around him.
You still have your defense hold.
The that's fine, because what I want to do is walk the perimeter of an area, consecrating it to your deity. As long as you stay within that area, you're alerted whenever someone acts with malice. Anyone who receives healing gets 1d4 HP. So first I'm going to try to cast that.
You're consecrating the area.
Consecrating the area to my deity.
Good luck.
Come on. I need a couple good rolls here. Yeah. Beautiful.
What'd you get?
10
plus.
A 10. Okay,
Excellent.
so now I can try to heal myself and get an extra d4 damage.
Yeah, you've turned the area into a sanctuary. As you do, everyone on the battlefield turns to look at you. Like there's like a holy symbol of your god burned into the ice as you consecrate the area, and everyone's just like, you just messed up real bad.
I just look at them and I say, Aura is best, and then I try to heal myself.
Okay, all right.
Don't fail me now, Aura.
You're definitely Aura's gonna super fail. I mean, statistic. Oh my goodness, Aura didn't fail at all.
Get
all right.
wrecked.
You get what, a D8 plus a D4?
D6. Or is it
D8? D8 plus D4. Yep.
Yeah.
Cure light wounds. D8. Yeah.
Question: do badgers have big fluffy tails, or do they have small tails? I don't remember.
Oh my gosh. I got 5. I'm still pretty bad shape.
Well, you can get a brush for badgers. Oh man, they have a variety of tail sizes. Many of them are short.
Okay. Man, I like this pose though. I'm enjoying this.
Too. This is sick. This is real good. I'm imagining the Avengers theme song playing in the background. But now, Vladimir, in exchange for the holy healing of Aura, and Aura is like, you get the feeling from Aura. Aura's like, good job. Good job. Everyone is rushing you. The bear and the wolf are working together to come at you now.
Oh gosh. Oh, those assholes.
No, don't break my scene. No.
Okay. The bear and the wolf are fighting each other towards you. They're doing like a Hong Kong hustle style, like, and then like one will throw the other over them, and then they'll roll. They keep looking at you and distracting themselves.
Okay.
Draper looks hurt. He's been RKO'd. He slid across the ice, but I don't mean hurt in like a physical sense. He's like, why would you do this to me? Why you gotta spread your god all around the place?
He got his ring or whatever, right?
He didn't get the ring.
Oh,
the
no, he
rabbit
didn't.
RKO'd him.
Okay. Oh shit.
And now he's upset because you're
So
later.
I just yell. I yell to him.
You're urinating your god right up on top of him in animal sense.
Look, find your silly ring. I take care of Jackrabbit.
Okay.
And then I will attempt to fight this freaking Jackrabbit again.
All right. He's I mean, as long as we're going Dragon Ball Z style, he's a white rabbit, so on the snow it's hard to keep track of him, so he's doing the anime thing where it's like, what did you do? Yeah, he's like coming in towards you.
Yeah, and my like close up on my eyes and my like furry black striped badger eyes, like trying to like track it.
I know you wanted to play the Dragon Ball Z roleplay game tonight, but I couldn't learn it in 12 hours.
Did you look at the book? It looked pretty silly. It was like,
yes,
instead of classes, it's just
it was written by Mike Pondsmith, who always makes good stuff like Cyberpunk 2020. That's why I was worried, because Cyberpunk 2020 is a horribly long rule system.
Yeah, we'll play it someday.
One day. One day. We got your back, Mike Pondsmith. He's a bro. Makes good stuff.
I don't know.
So once again, it's I like put up my fists to like match him at his own.
Oh,
sport.
you're gonna, okay, all right, man. You have abandoned this Warhammer.
Yeah, not once.
You know, sometimes you use it. Sometimes you just want to bite
Tell me
someone.
what kind of moves we're doing here. Like, he's going for the quick stuff, you know.
Yeah, he comes in.
I feel like he's
coming
really
in
Muhammad Ali. That's what I'm feeling.
Yeah, I'm just gonna like.
You Ivan Drago.
I'm gonna. Yeah. If he dies, he dies.
If he dies, he dies.
That's my favorite line in any movie ever. In anything.
Get to the chopper.
I mean, that's good, but if he dies, he dies. I mean, the scene too is beautiful. So I'm like going to try to like match his punch with my fist and just like break his knuckles.
Wow. That happened last week with Henley too. That was his plan, was to have people hit him in the head so that he could break their knuckles. Guys are so alike. All right. Paul,
He's got little rabbit bones.
You want to press XX and then O in time with the beat? Let's do this. Roll some dice. Punch, kick.
X.
It's all in the mind.
Okay, oh my God! Don't even
going rounds. Okay, let's get this started.
All right, you get an 8, which is a partial hit, which means both of you injure each other. You're gonna take a D6 plus 1 from his savage blow, and then let's see how much damage you deal.
Okay, so I take 2.
All right, yeah. His weak little rabbit arms, they got speed, but there's no power behind it.
And 4.
Oh,
my
man.
fist when they meet.
He's like, my fist! That hurts!
Yes, you're quick, but you're not thick. And I like flex.
All right. I'm gonna let
Get XP for a one-liner.
No, you don't. I feel like taking XP away for that. All right, you flex.
That's where we're different, Arthur.
So that exact scene is now happening. The bear is behind you, roaring at the wolf as he's lunging towards you, holding your finger bone. Like the wolf is grabbing for the finger bone. Draper has slid in on his knees and is throwing knives at the rabbit in order to get to the ring. And you're just like, flex time. And we have made the picture happen. However, that does leave all 4 of your enemies in close quarters with you.
Yep.
What do you want to do?
I would like to
call upon God to smite everyone.
No, I mean, God provides a way, sometimes like a hole in the ground in which to escape, in which I'm looking for now. I have my finger. I'm looking for like some kind of burrow hole.
You want to discern realities? Or maybe you want to spout lore. Maybe you can tell me about the secret burrow hole of the ice badgers.
There's it's the ice moles, Arthur.
All right, let's roll it.
They're of unusual size. Let's see.
Ice mole. The Iamoses?
Was that
not as catchy as ROUS's. The eye mouse. A 7. All right. I get to tell you something interesting. It's up on you to make it useful. There is a settlement nearby called Mole Town, where you can go to get some especially fine meat. Some say it's the greatest meat in all the land.
Mole Town. I have a secondary idea. We are like on like kind of an icy. We just came out of like woods into an icy plateau, right?
Yep.
Are there any snowdrifts nearby?
Sure.
Okay, so I'm going to try to use my last dash to get into a snowdrift to like burrow underneath and like scurry away.
Fantastic. Defy danger with your dexterity. What's happening is as you're as you're disengaging, the wolf brings his sword down, swoosh, but you slide right past it. Maybe one of your tail hairs gets whoop, whoop, whoop. An outline of you is left behind, and the wolf frustratedly like swings a sword around Kylo Ren style. Then the bear smacks him in the back of the head. And the 4 of them are engaged. Yeah, you slide into an ice burrow. It's cold. It'll get warm soon, but it's cold now.
Yeah, I
and
like
dark and close.
Dig in there. and check. I'm gonna check on the finger. It's safe.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
there.
Yeah,
It's the
no.
real one.
Oh yeah, you can
Okay.
feel all of the divine power from it.
Thank goodness. Okay. I'm going to move location and like get a peeky hole
All right,
to
Mario.
observe.
You periscope out. It's just on Darien left. He has mauled all the combatants. They're all lying bleeding. He's taken both the sea axe and the sword of the wolf, and is gathering up all of the other holy relics, and is sniffing the air, and says, "Come out! I can smell you, Badger. I'll have your relic too. I will dedicate it to Ursa, and then we will burn it in the great fire." Coward! There's so much particle effects now that he's dual wielding.
Yeah, I'm going to.
I just realized he's literally dual wielding one-handed weapons. Well, okay, they're meant for smaller animals, so it's like he's monkey gripping.
Yeah. I'm going to. I want to look about and find a small stick or twig that's about the size of the finger bone.
You had
that
that
doable?
stick earlier.
Yeah.
Very well.
That I was poking with. So I just like break it to the size of a finger.
Sure.
And I come out of my hole holding the stick kind of wrapped in my fingers, but holding it up, saying, look, just don't hurt the others. Please, anything. I'll give you it. Just do not hurt me. Please, don't hunt me down. I'm gonna like approach him, and I want to throw the like stick as far as I can away from like the others that are like bleeding to death.
Is this a parlay? Do you want something out of him more than just a moment?
Yeah, I want him to go away.
All right. I feel like this is a parlay that could trick him.
Or at least run towards the stick.
Yeah, go ahead and roll charisma. See if you can trick him. Remember, you're terrible at this, and you have a long history of being bad at talking to people in role-playing games.
Yes, I know.
All right, excellent.
I rolled a 5.
Long history continues. He does not fall for your trick. He swats the ring out of the sky. Sorry, he swats the finger bone out, and it's like, that is wood. You think you can trick me? He steps on the duck's tail as he's walking towards you, and Draper's just like, oh, I took his soul.
He's fucking done for.
And he starts picking up speed, like and he Naruto runs. You know that thing where he puts his arms behind him, and he's got both the weapons each in one arm.
All right. Well, he's got to be severely hurt from his battle.
That's a good assumption.
So I am just going to try to stand my ground. And yes, this is the time to use a hand-long warhammer weapon. So I swing it down with all the force I can muster at pacing so that it comes down on his nose right when he gets to me.
Very well. This is it. First off, I want to thank Make Gaming for the host. That's a fantastic.
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
You should definitely head over. He was fantastic on Mistborn. Were you there for that, Virgil? No, that was after you had left the cast. I'm thinking.
Yeah, I was only on for 4 or 5 weeks.
He played a character who lost his memory midway through the session, and went through the same dialogue as when he first met each character. It was incredible.
That's cool. I'll have to. I didn't catch the rest of that stuff.
Yeah.
I'll have to go watch it.
It's just like, oh, I haven't seen you in several weeks, and I was like, oh man, that's the same thing you said last time. Go ahead. Let's build the tension back up. This is your moment in the sun. You're streaking across the snow-covered lands. The bear is moving towards you with not one but 2 legendary weapons, both blessed by different gods, and he's bringing them both down on you. Go ahead and roll it.
Another 5.
Fantastic. You get smacked the shit out of you. Both of the weapons come down on you, crunching very hard. Why don't you roll 2d8, keep highest, +3. So it should just be whichever d8 comes out higher.
Can I?
Yeah, roll 20 will do 2d8 KH1.
Oh, I missed the one.
All right, you take 7 points of damage.
Oof, that's pretty bad.
He swipes at you with the ice sword, and you manage to dodge it, but then he brings down the seax. And it's not that he catches you with the axe end, he catches you with the flat of the blade, and it slams into your shoulder and forces you to your knees. And then he's got the blade up against your throat, and he's like, "Now is the time to surrender, tiny one. Give me the finger bone of Aura, or I will end your pathetic life. All will know that Ursa," and he does the thing he's been doing, where he's like, "Ursa," and he pulls the weapons away from you momentarily, "is the greatest god of all the land."
I stab him in the belly with the finger.
Next level. Next level tactical maneuver. All right. Good luck. Roll
Look, I'm just hoping that we have this thing for a reason. It just sits in the fucking temple all day. We've had it for like hundreds of years. We've got to do something.
That it's not a doomsday weapon. It's supposed to be something you pray over while thinking about.
It might have holy power. This guy's blaspheming.
It's like a Gutenberg Bible, man. You don't expect God to just be like, "All right, well, it's an original, so I'm gonna come down there and backhand you over it." All right, make your roll.
It's like deleting a copy of the Bible off the internet. Okay, here goes.
Wow,
yes.
10. Okay, no consequences. Make your damage roll. Maybe
Please,
you max out on the damage
Aura.
if God helps you. Nope, you literally roll minimum possible damage. Oh no, you rolled a 2. All right,
2.
yeah, you
Such
poke him in the stomach, and you hit him in his belly button. He's like, "Oh, I'm so sensitive there," and he drops the weapons, and his claws come out, and he's just like, and just wildly bear swiping at you now. You're so much smaller than him that he's missing to start out with, but at some point, he's gonna rage mode on you. You could say,
nope, don't do it.
He's berserking.
Don't.
Too late, it already happened.
Okay, I'm going to use my adventuring gear for some pocket sand.
You gave all your adventuring gear to Draper to turn into
No, pocket sand. It says adventuring gear. It doesn't say it has to be in your backpack. Pocket sand would specifically be adventuring gear in your pocket.
Very well. You got me. You got me there.
So
are you literally throwing sand in this guy's eyes?
Pocket sand.
You are
yeah, and then I'm gonna try to dip the fuck out.
You fight like a piece of shit.
I have 3 hit points.
All right. Defy danger with wisdom.
Come on, baby. Come on, baby.
I'll give
yes. Yes.
I don't even
I got a
give
10.
you a +1. Yeah. You're out. You have the finger bone. The bear is disoriented with the sand. He's just like, "Coward!" Ah! And he like rolls around on the ground, putting ice in his eyes so he can get the sand. He's just like, "Ah! Ah!" Before you go, there are those 2 holy weapons just lying on the ground next to him. Maybe you want to risk staying around a little longer to grab one.
Gosh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take off in the direction of the others that are laying on the ground.
The unnamed rabbit of Hoplord.
And I'm going to say, I must retreat for now, but I will give you a chance to get your items or retreat yourself. And I'm going to try to heal these guys.
Okay. All right. I'll tell you what. Make 1 wisdom roll and see if God approves. If he does, we'll just heal them all. Okay. You got a choice here. You can heal one of them before the bear recovers. Who's it going to be? The wolf? The duck? The rabbit?
I think it's going to be the duck.
All right. You and Draper together
Draper.
forever.
I say, Draper, you're awake. Quickly. We must come. Where is your ring? Isn't the ring around somewhere?
Yes, he immediately goes for the ring. He's like, oh, I got it. Okay, let's get out of here.
Run, run.
No, he sees the weapons. He's like, oh, those are very nice. Who knows what secrets those hold?
You fool. It's dangerous bird.
Just cover
All
me,
right.
okay? He like starts flapping to pick up speed. And then instead of flying, he just slides with his feet. He's just like skiing. Shh. Like a jet ski towards them.
He's like the rescuer's bird.
Yes, yeah. Shh. And he's just like, come on, cover me. Distract
All
him
right,
for a
I
second."
run after him, trying to cover his ass. We're gonna
How are you gonna do it?
die.
You're like, I pull out some more pocket sand.
No. What? Let's see. What can I do here? No, I don't want to update Windows right now. I'll.
Sure you don't want to update your Windows? Third pop-up. Are you really sure? Listen, we'll do it when you're sleeping, okay?
I am going to just like take my Warhammer, do like a 360, and then launch it.
Oh wow! Yep.
Over
I'm
the
imagining
bird.
this.
Literally using it as a hammer.
Yep. Are you using
Throwing
the
hammer.
ice to help you spin too? You're
Yeah,
like,
I pirouette and then like woof, woof, like.
And that's
Launch
how
it.
the Olympic sport got invented.
And that was how the battle was won, and the sport of golf invented at the same time. Yeah. We've got this Warhammer majestically swinging through the air. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh.
So I mean volley.
It's a volley for sure.
Yeah. A 9.
Okay. I feel like running out of ammo is the thing that you're gonna have to take because you're not getting this Warhammer.
Okay.
All right, the Warhammer majestically leaps out over the ice. It smacks into the bear, and the bear was standing up, and now is like, boop! just literally got the legs taken out of him. Slides on his butt for a while. Draper grabs the sea axe and throws the sword to you. Swoosh,
Okay,
swoosh. And he's like, okay, now we have to run.
All right,
Let's
and
get
we
with the
book it.
promotion.
Back into the forest as quick as we can.
All right, the two of you are like running together, and he's like, "Oh man, if only my tuchus didn't hurt so much. Oh, my wings busted. Oh, this is ridiculous. How did we get in this situation?"
You complain a lot, don't you?
Listen, it's no secret, and let me tell you, I'm a follower of the God of Secrets. I know something about it. And like, you guys are like going over branches and underneath stumps and just sliding. You can hear the bear following at a distance, but at some point he stops and it's like, cowards! And it echoes through the forest. Cowards, cowards. Snow falls from branches when the mighty roar hits it. Yeah, the two of you escape into the forest and head back southernly towards warmer and more scent-bordered lands, having escaped the White Wolf.
Awesome. And yeah, I return towards the holy temple of Aura with the bony finger in my possession.
Fantastic. I actually feel like that's the end of the game right there.
Yeah, that was a good run. I mean, 3 hit points to spare, everybody.
We could talk for a while if you want to.
It's a good thing I took 16 Constitution.
I'm just here. I'm
I
just
really
gonna keep
love this
doodling.
Avengers drawing. It's super good.
Yeah.
If only you guys had worked together.
Yeah, if only it was as cool as the picture implies.
I mean,
That's
there was
so-
some cool stuff going on there. Maybe not that level of cool, but we try to get close.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah. We're wild animals. It's hard to.
I mean, some of you were wild, for sure.
I still don't know who the bad guy was.
I mean, I feel like everybody was the bad guy. I had that through most of Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and then I was like, oh, that's the bad guy.
I still haven't seen that movie, so
Wow. Well, you might not be able to determine the bad guy for a while. It's
First time
fantastic,
I'm hearing
by
of
the way. It's really good.
I will take that under advisement and wait till it comes out on home video. Is that a
Home
thing
release?
anymore?
Netflix.
Yeah,
Just
Netflix.
say Netflix. Everyone.
Well,
knows.
Netflix did just get Doctor Strange, so I think they might be doing Marvel movies now.
No, they have. I mean, they get most of the Marvel series because they got that deal to do, the like Defenders. They got the deal to do all the Defender stuff. You know, Luke Cage.
Oh, I'm
Punisher.
totally not familiar with that.
Really?
And I haven't seen any of the Luke Cage or
Luke Cage was garbage. Don't bother. I mean, no. Watch the first half of it and then stop immediately.
I can almost agree with that.
Yeah.
But the thing is, watch all of them but Iron Fist. Iron Fist is terrible.
Iron Fist was not great.
Iron Fist was really bad.
Iron Fist. You know what? Here's the thing about
Iron Fist was made by DC.
Here's the thing about Iron Fist, right? Do you remember why the first series of I'm gonna take a drink and keep drawing, but the first series of Daredevil was really, really good. Not because besides the fact it was really well written. Obviously everyone knows that hallway fight scene, right?
Yep. I mean, they do a hallway fight scene in every one of the Marvel series now.
Yeah, but the thing about it is when that happened, like before it was a meme and it was in everything, that was like, it was like a statement of purpose, right? It was like the show saying like, this is what we're about. Iron Fist never had that. There was no point in the series where they're like, this is what we're trying to do with it. It was kind of like we were always waiting for a fight scene to happen and it just never did.
So all of the Marvel shows end up making a final battle scene where it somehow makes sense for two people to punch each other to death.
Sort of, yeah.
Luke
Except
Cage
Iron
is
Fist.
the best one at that. But
except the villain was goofy and horrible.
Okay, you don't like the villain, that's fine. Anyway, the point is, all of the shows literally, because it's a superhero, they make it down to, I'm this philosophy and you're that philosophy. Let's punch each other to figure out which one's better. Iron Fist doesn't ever have that.
Yeah, no, basically, that's kind of, that was kind of my point, is like, it was basically you have this guy that has these powers, right? And I'm like sitting there during the show sort of waiting for the point with which they're going to be like, here's the fight scene where he sort of states his purpose, like who he is as a hero and as a character. And it just never happened.
I mean, they do it, but because his belief is conflicting. He literally believes, I'm the Iron Fist, I have to defend Kun Lan and defeat the Hand. But he also believes, I'm Danny Rand, and I have to run the Rand Corporation and protect the Rand name. And they never resolve the difference between those two beliefs. It's always just, he flips a switch, depending on what situations he's in.
Yeah. Ironically, this story about his rich, old best friend turning into a horrible, haggard human being that has like done horrible things is a much more interesting story than anything that happened to Danny.
Incredible. And the arc from like murderiness and deception to like we're best friends again is, I was like, wow, we got here. Like somehow we arrived at this point.
I think if you took that guy and made all of the stuff that happened to him its own show, it would be a decent show, you know?
Iron Fist 2, corporate warfare.
Basically. Here's my favorite part about Iron Fist. They went to China for 2 seconds, and I legit did not know they went to China in the show.
That's true.
They went there 2 seconds. They were there.
They're just like, yep, we fly
the business trip. They were like,
and that reminds me, one of the coolest characters in that show was this dude, this fucking drunken master type dude that does nothing.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, he just
one scene, doesn't have a name, just gets the shit beat out of him, and that's it. He's gone.
I know.
Who was he? Why was he there? He
pain.
was so cool. I want more of it. He could have been a great villain.
I
totally leveled up too.
As much as you hate Luke Cage, I gotta tell you, I love the music. They had people. Judena was out there performing live. They had all like the club music was amazing, incredible.
It was, you know what? Which is why I say the first half of it I think was really competent. It was the second, like I liked that gangster villain, right? That was cool. I like that guy.
No, Cottonmouth.
I did not like Diamondback as a
Diamondback.
character.
I agree. I mean,
Here's the thing about him as a character, right? They built him up so much in the way they did that sort of Wilson Fisk thing, where like, you know, they talked about him as this big badass, like no one crosses him, like if he comes to town, you're fucked up, you know, that kind of thing. And then he came to and he was just this doofy guy that like was not intimidating at all. And I'm like,
I am your brother. And I was like, ah, okay, all right, cool. He just says things dramatically.
Yeah.
That's his whole plot.
And then like that, like the suit at the end, and I mean, come on, man.
It doesn't matter what you say; it's how you say it, right? I mean,
I think Yoda would disagree.
you can just say things in a bad guy voice, and that's a bad guy thing. Plot done.
So you've come here for the last time. Well, then we're going to do this. Yeah, you could just say anything in a bad guy voice.
Yeah.
I would like your chicken nuggets. Give them to me.
Sounds like something your father would have said.
I want to say, by the way, that trope always amazes me. Not the father would have said thing, but the I serve with your father in the war. Like, how is that making a comeback? I see that all the time.
Is that a thing?
No, it's a thing. I saw it on Star Trek, right? The Star Trek reboot is the really big one where I saw
the first one.
Your father served on a starship for 12 minutes. He saved
Yeah.
500 lives, including your own.
Sounds like
Your
a
mother's.
Starship Troopers line.
I know. But
Yeah.
now there's all these, I serve with your father in the war. Like, it goes all the way back to the
No.
watch in the butt. Like, I serve with your father in the war.
Yeah, no, I can think of some other ones.
How is this trope still a thing? Like, just because you were in my dad's unit, right? Like, should I have to listen to you? What is this?
All right, this is important to me right now.
It's like your family?
What does this Badger's holy symbol look like? Like, what is the
Oh,
symbol
that's a
on
good
the
question.
tabard?
It's a really complicated Aurora Borealis. There's like 7 colors involved, and it's super wavy. You need to do a cosine plus tangent waveform.
Yeah.
I can't math. I don't know what that means.
Cos plus tan. I'm just gonna go ahead.
No,
and
maybe
look at
it's like the omega symbol. If you can't, you can math that, right?
Oh, I thought you were saying it is it's the symbol for Omega. That's the holy symbol.
Ooh, wow. Cos x plus tan x actually does look hella dope. You can just put it in Google. It'll do it for you.
Hold on,
Oh,
wait.
really?
Yep. Oh yeah. Google does all sorts of stuff. I think it pulls from Wolf.
So I can just pull that PNG down, I think, and put it into my fucking synthesis. My new synthesizer's insane.
Wait, so what am I looking at?
I can just draw waveforms, Arthur.
just go to Google and type cos x plus tan x.
I did, and it
It should say graph 4.
Oh wait, yeah.
Cos space cos space x plus tan.
Oh, is it like a weird double helix thing?
Yeah, kinda. Yeah.
That's freaky.
I just literally was making up math problems, and
Yeah.
we ended up with what an aurora might look like. Actually, I mean, I figured anything involving cosine plus another function would be.
Just draw these weird fucking scales in here.
So
The
yeah,
snake scales. That's right.
Snake scales. Yeah, because I'm drawing the tabard and I'm like, I don't know what
No,
this
we see
thing
it.
looks like.
We're watching it happen.
Oh, I forgot. I sometimes forget that.
I like how serious he looks.
I don't know how to draw. I'm not a great cartoonist, if you haven't realized. Like, it's weird. I went to school for cartooning, and I'm just not like I can't draw like cartoon.
like simply, you mean? Just like a six bubbles and 10 lines, and there's your character.
Yeah, I
Order
was
of
never
style?
good
Yeah.
at that.
I don't see how anyone makes shit look good like that. You're like, you only drew fucking 6 lines and 5 bubbles. What the fuck?
Yeah,
None of my
it's-
lines or bubbles look good.
I
It's
ever.
like
Make art.
some people are like they can just kind of create an expression like that, and it's like, I don't know, man. I've never been good at doing that stuff.
Gotta do that Mona Lisa smile, right?
Well, this is a badger. He doesn't even fucking have he doesn't
Oh,
have
yeah,
a
that's
smile
right.
at all.
I mean, Honey Badger didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
He just looks so intense. I'm super proud. I don't even have anything to do with it. Didn't make the character, didn't draw it. But I want to do that thing where someone's like, "This is mine now."
Like, you made this?
I made this.
I made this.
Exactly.
This is me. Hi.
I had nothing to do with it. Have you ever tried to draw Dritz? Oh boy, Dritz. That's a character I got a problem with. Talk about it.
I
Have you
okay.
read the novels or?
I haven't. I haven't because I read the summary of them and it was like his sword's named Twinkle and Icing Death, and I'm like, I can never take this seriously. I'm just gonna not.
No, you can't. Okay, so the thing is, they introduce him in the first book as like a Yoda character.
Yeah.
He's like ha 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 ha, and they were gonna make the story about like a sick barbarian dude named Wolfgar or whatever, and then they were like, all right, so it's got to be about something dark and edgy, and he was like, I don't know. I have a character. His name is Dritz. And they're like, cool, Dritz sounds badass. I don't even know anything else about the character. And Salvatore's like, that's good because I don't know anything about the character. I'll make him a dark elf. And so chronologically, there are a bunch of books that take place before the first book, where he's like this badass edgelord learning from his dad. But in actuality, the order that the books are published, he's like some sort of weird hermit who lives out in the ice fields and has magic swords and is a trickster. And is kind of a moron 90% of the time. And in other books, he becomes more of a badass, which makes it weird to read them in chronological order. Because it's like, slowly becoming a badass edgelord. And then like, trickster. And then like, badass edgelord. I don't like trickster.
I hate it when there's too much of the like, just person being an idiot where they shouldn't in a story.
I mean, he has the Horatio Hornblower syndrome, where you make a character, and then the longer you write the character, the more fans want to know about their early history, and their early history makes them more badass than they were in the first book that takes place after their badassness.
Right.
That's bringing it back. That's actually a problem I think a lot of people have when they make D&D characters.
Yeah.
Is they like,
like
you're coming into a game at level. I've legit had people come into a game at level 1 and their backstory is telling me about like
dragon.
I ran away from. I legit had someone give me a backstory where they were like, I ran away from a clan of vampires and I killed one and they got away, and I'm like,
no,
nah, dude, it's not.
I had that problem in Winter's Edge 1, and so in Winter's Edge 2, I had a rule where I was like, you're not a prince, you're not a dragon, you're not a 28th level wizard who lost their powers. You are a beginning adventurer who has just started their journey.
Yeah. I tell people a lot that they when I'm doing a new campaign and stuff, like, don't sell yourself on the details of a backstory because like before the campaign starts.
12 men.
The forward story is the important stuff. Anyways, if your GM is giving you problems, players, with you can't have been killing a whole tribe of vampires, or they won't let you have been the dragon rider race winner for 9 years running, or other stuff. Remember that your PC can just lie about that in game to other people.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I don't care, dude. Lie about it all you want. That's interesting.
It's just as effective. I mean,
oh man, could you imagine though, like a Rurouni Kenshin character where you like brag about it and you're like, actually, I'm one of the best swordsmen in the land. And,
no.
As you level up, you actually become that level of hype.
I think
but
I
you
wanted
were
to
tricking people when you started out. You were like, damn, I just rolled a bunch of crits.
Make it.
Did you see that recent Hercules movie with The Rock?
I did
not.
No. I did not.
Okay, so not a great movie, but the reason it's interesting is because The Rock is Hercules. Like, he legit is Hercules, but he's just a normal dude. And all of the stuff, like all of the tale, like everyone believes the stories about what he did, but it's literally just because he has a troop of people that travel with him and make it up.
Oh yeah.
And convince everyone that he actually did those things. And so everyone thinks he's like a hero, but he hasn't really, like, he didn't actually kill a giant fucking lion. Like,
he's got Sir Robin syndrome. Yeah.
He's just got a bard
right.
that goes around and tells people
the
he
stories,
did.
right.
And so I want to make a D&D character where it's like, he's just a guy, but everyone thinks he's like this amazing hero, and he doesn't know why, because like he just sort of like can't escape.
Who is that guy from Harry Potter that did that with books? Leonhardt or something?
I don't remember. I don't.
He literally went to people, stole their stories, and then used memory magic to modify their memory so they forgot that happened to them. Gilderoy Lockhart. There we go. Thank you, Chad. Chad knows what's up. Chad always knows what's up. He would be like, look, I defeated the bog monster of Blablertha. And everyone would be like, wow, the story is so detailed. Of course he was there. He must have done it. And then
That's a really stupid criteria to judge whether someone's done something or not.
The amazing part is he's the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher, so they're like, teach us how to defend against the dark arts.
But he doesn't know anything, right?
And so he's literally like, turn to chapter 13 of my book where I encounter pixies, because I don't know, but the book knows because I wrote it.
Yeah. No, but I now I really want to play a D&D character who doesn't he hasn't really done anything. Like, he's level 1, but everyone thinks he's like a great hero.
The best novel portrayal of D&D. In question, Slither 80. Huh. I don't know that I've read that many D&D novels that I.
When you say best novel portrayal of D&D, do you mean of the game or of the world, or what a D&D campaign is like?
Yeah, I like the pre-made D&D settings. I'm actually not a huge fan of very many of them.
Yeah.
I don't think the Name of the Wind counts, but if we're doing fantasy, Name of the Wind is fantastic. It also has literally nothing. It's based off of engineering science as magic.
That's a Pat Rothfuss book, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I like how you're like, that's a Pat Rothfuss book. There's only 3 of them.
I legit haven't read any of. I don't read it anymore. I don't have any time.
You're missing out.
I haven't read them.
Name of the Wind is fantastic. It'll change your life. Then you'll read the second book and then you'll cry because the third book isn't coming out anytime soon.
Yeah, I've been meaning to read them. I somehow, of course, you're in this kind of Twitter. You get your Twitter sphere going, right?
Yep.
Yeah, basically.
And so 100 people in my Twitter sphere all follow him, so I'd see his stuff all the time. So now I follow him too, but I still haven't read his book, so I feel kind of bad.
By the way, Pat, if you're watching, please come on Fuzzy Dice.
I mean, come on,
and send me a free copy of your book. I can't afford that shit.
He's fantastic on Acquisitions Incorporated.
Yeah, he was really fun to watch. That was, I think, where I recognized him from.
He's not on the stream show, but he's still on the live show.
He's not on C-Team, but he's definitely on the stage.
Yeah,
show.
I saw him at PAX East this year.
As Viari.
Yeah.
Oh.
What's
speaking of that, you guys going to Gen Con this year?
I am not. Good luck though.
No cons for me this year.
I literally would not survive it. Oh boy.
I'll be at Gen Con.
I gotta tell you, I've actually never been to a convention. And as you were saying earlier, you have trouble meeting new people in the tabletop RPG community. Not going to cons is actually difficult as hell.
I went to TwitchCon. I got to
Eric Vulgaris meets everybody at the conventions. That dude just got the hookup.
Eric's awesome. Yeah.
Awesome.
Here's the thing: is I was in the comic book world, conventions wise for a while, because out of college I used to hang out at New York City Comic Con every year as an art vendor, and I stopped that, but I met a lot of people there. But this is the first year I've ever kind of been going to any conventions as a streamer, and so I went to PAX East this year, and that was my first time ever going there. Met a lot of people there, and I am going to TwitchCon, which is going to be a first.
I went to the first TwitchCon. It was fun. I got to meet Adam Cobell and Jen and a ton of people.
Yeah, I have my TwitchCon ticket, and I know I'm just gonna go there and be fucking awkward as hell and not go up to not
Check
talk
out what I
to
got.
anyone.
This is the coolest thing. I got Mini Wheat to sign my Dungeon World copy.
I don't actually know who that is.
DJ Wheat's kid?
Oh, I know
Mini
of
Wheat.
DJ Wheat, but I don't know anything about his.
Oh.
I don't know a lot of people. Actually, here's the funny thing. The only person I've ever met who knows less about internet celebrity culture than me is my friend Speedy. We went to PAX East together, and I was taking him around. I'm like, we were standing outside the Twitch booth and literally bumped into me God, I can't remember his name now. Tycho.
Tycho Brahe?
Yeah,
Jerry Holkins.
Mike. Jerry
Mike
Holkins.
Verhoeven.
Yes.
Mike
No,
Verhoeven.
no, it's Jerry Holkins.
Jerry
I blank. I'm bad with names, and I blank on them all the time.
Sorry.
Me
Yeah,
to me.
Jerry literally bumped into me, and we started talking because I had been emailing him to get him on the show, and we're talking, and he, eventually he leaves, and I'm like, that's Jerry. This is his convention, like, and he's like, oh, I don't even know who that guy is. I've never heard of him before.
You're right, it's Penny Arcade.
I'm like, oh, okay. Like my friend, he doesn't know anyone. Like
Dick Wolves. That's all you have to say. People
Yeah.
will know. I have an answer for you, Slither80, to jump back. Best D&D novel? I can't give you one. I will give you 5. The Catterley novel. Are the only Forgotten Realms published setting stuff that I like in any amount of format. And I'm not going to say that they're great, but they're good. They're okay. I would read them. I've read them twice. That's about as far as I'll go. Yeah, I just really don't like.
I don't think I've read anything specifically placed in like one of the D&D settings. Like I don't think I've played inside one of the D&D settings.
The problem
Like
with Forgotten Realms in general is why do anything when Dritz and elements that can just bro fist.
See, here's the thing though, is
wreck it and then leave. Like no existential crisis is too small for them to solve.
I have never had anyone ask why those people aren't intervening when we're playing like the campaigns. Like no one's been like, oh, where are these? I'm like, because in my world, in my eyes, that'd be a really dumb question. I'd be like, what? Because that's not part of this campaign. Next.
I don't like pre-packaged settings like that.
I don't know. I'm lazy and I'm not a great home brewer.
Don't get me wrong. I personally don't like them, but there's no way I look down on them for other people. Even Matt Koval uses. In fact, that's all he uses is pre-packaged setting.
Yeah, it's for me. I'm very lazy. And so I like.
You got to pick what you commit your time to, right?
Like, well, no, the thing is, I still don't consider myself very good, but for a long time, I was like, when I was DMing, it's like, oh, you know, gonna do a new campaign. Should I write a setting? No, why would I do that? I'm a horrible writer. And so I just didn't bother. Like, I just used, I used Galarian because it works fine for me.
I mean, Galarian is ace, even if you're using a different system. Galarian is great because you can pick which country you're in and basically do the theme. Right?
So here's the reason why.
Gunslinger Town? Are you in Fancy French Guy Town? Are you in French Revolution Town? Are you in America? Like,
that's actually the reason why people hate Golarion, because it's so kitchen sink. And I'm like, no, but you don't understand the beauty of it.
Yeah.
Pick any of those settings and then treat them as their own self-contained world, and you have a really cool D&D world.
We did that for our Kingmaker group. We took Burning Wheel. With Eric Vulgaris, and we did Kingmaker in it, and we just took Brevoy, and now we're like in Brevoy, and we don't pay attention to anything around it. Yeah, basically. I mean, if you're gonna run it as a world, you kind of have to treat all of the countries as if they're much farther away than they actually are. But if you the thing about Pathfinder World is that it's huge.
Yeah, but also I think the countries are generally kind of small to the point where
but I mean, 200 miles might seem small to us, but we have cars. It takes like 10 days to cross a country, and it's like 15 countries to cross a continent.
Yeah, I on the subject of Pathfinder, I have a home game that I've been playing with that group for about 3 years now, and for a year and a half of it, I've been running Curse of the Crimson Throne, which is easily the best adventure they've ever published.
Well, I would contest that, but I haven't actually read it.
It is very, very good.
I still hold that Dragon's Demand is the greatest adventure they've ever written.
Dragon's Demand is really good.
They've had a lot of trouble. Their super modules since then have been garbage.
Yeah, let me tell you something really cool about Dragon's Demand. I wanted to run Jade Region, and so I didn't know.
Jade Region. It's terrible.
I know. I see. Here's the thing: is I really like it, but I didn't like the intro, and so what I did was I took the first book of Rise of the Rune Lords, the first half of the first book of Rise of the Rune Lords, combined it with Dragon's Demand, and made an introduction for Jade Region.
Yeah, no, that's a good one because you still meet everybody in town during the Goblin attack and all that stuff. Yeah.
And there's a lot of world building, kind of introducing the NPCs. See, my thing about Jade Region is it's really based on the NPCs, and in order to get there, you need to have the players have time to build those relationships.
Book 4 is terrible.
Oh no, absolutely. I understand there's chunks in it that are crap, but I really like the first book, and I like the theme stuff. That
Pathfinder has that problem where like the first 3 books are good and then immediately falls off. The lowest rated adventure path book is in Carrying Crown, which is one of the highest rated adventure paths.
Carrying Crown is awful, by the way.
1, 2, and 3 are great. 4, 5, and 6 are garbage.
I couldn't
book
get on
6
board.
Is the worst. All right.
I couldn't get on board with Carrying Crown because I read it and I'm like, why would I want to play pastiches of monster movies that the players are going to figure out in a second?
Well, I mean, is that really bad?
I mean, it just seems like it defeats the purpose to me.
I saw something on Reddit where a guy was like, "All right,
I feel like I either figure something out in a second or never."
So there was
when
a
GM
post
has something for me.
on Reddit RPG where a guy was like, "Here's the problem. My players figured out my plot. I was gonna make it like 12 sessions, and they figured out that the mayor was a werewolf in the first episode." And I was like, "Okay, what's the problem? Like, why is that bad? If you have hinted at something and they're like, it's that, let it happen. Let it happen. They should feel rewarded for their creative brilliance at getting the plot. Because if they're there, this is the really important part. You know that they're invested in the story. If they've taken the time to predict what's going to happen, and then it happens, they're going to be like, I called that. Rather than you get the players that are like, I don't know what's going on. We just killed this guy. Why are we here?
That's actually there's a lot of adventures that suffer from that.
I know.
And actually, one of the reasons I rewrote Rise of the Rune Lords was because in the second book, there's literally a villain who they spend pages describing, but he never comes up in the story. So by the time the players fight him, he literally just walks out of a room to fight them, and they're like, "Who the fuck is this guy?
Oh,
we've
judge?
never." Yeah,
you're like, do you want me to tell you?
Never met this guy before.
No, that's what. I mean, that's the Skyrim effect, right? That's when they die, they have a letter on them explaining what they are and what they're doing. You know, and at the end it says, "Burn this after reading."
but that like it's because of things like that I sort of like I go back and I rewrite the adventures fairly heavily to to just have that character development.
Rise in the Rune Lords is pretty solid.
It's all right. It has its moments. The thing about the second book is I liked a lot of the themes. I didn't like the way they were delivered, and my biggest problem, aside from the judge, was the fact that the best part of that book is wasted in the middle of it, and that's the haunted house. The haunted house is easily the best set piece in that book, and they just sort of like, that should be the finale. That really should.
The important part about the haunted house was that at that time, 3.5 didn't have anything like haunts. They had traps, but they didn't have undead traps. And Pathfinder introduced that in that book, and everyone was like, "Oh, this makes so much sense! What?"
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing with my hands. I'm a ghost. All right. So that was the book where everybody lost their shit for it. They were like, okay, Pathfinder's a good setting. Book 2, they were like, oh, Pathfinder's an amazing setting.
It was the thing about it is, and if you know the second book, this will make sense, and if you don't, it won't. But if you take, first of all, here's my problem with Rise of the Rune Lords. Remember how it introduces Aldern in the first book?
Yep.
And it tells.
Did you read the rewrite or not?
Yes,
I'm Anniversary.
Yes, of course, yeah, no, absolutely. But so in the first book, they sort of describe him, and they say this is how you role play him, and he should like hero worship and play or have a crush on them. And then what they neglect to tell you, that they do tell you in the second book, is, by the way, when this guy arrives at the festival, he's literally like days out of being a drug addicted murderer who killed his wife in his old abandoned haunted house. Like, that probably is information you should have told me a couple sessions ago.
So,
but if you take the haunted house scene, the whole dungeon, and you put it at the end of the book instead of the middle, what it does is it takes that whole book, and rather than being this weird story about a cult that you never understand until maybe the last few minutes, it makes the entire second book a really interesting tragedy about Alder and Foxglove, which I think plays out a lot more dramatically.
I know Wiseful's in chat, so he knows what's coming next. Have you ever heard the tragedy of Alder and Foxglove? That's right, prequel memes all day. He's so mad because I put one in our Burning Crowns game where I was like, have you ever heard the tragedy of Tar Baphon, the Whispering Tyrant?
Oh my god, Tar Baphon.
I did the whole story too. I was like, he fell to necromancy. He could bring others to death, but he could not undeath himself.
Undeath, you mean?
Undeath, yeah, he couldn't undeath himself.
No, he did undeath himself.
I mean, technically, maybe. I mean, he ruled while he was living, and then he undeathed himself after Aron was like, no more deathing.
But then he couldn't undeath.
Yeah. Well, he couldn't save himself from an exploding shield.
As if you guys, I know you guys wouldn't have read it, but the very last page before they rebooted Spawn was like, Al Simmons, the man who saved our world but could not save himself. And it was a really cool page, and then they had to bring the comic back, and it was.
I love Spawn.
Dude, I have a signed issue 1 right over there.
Wow, really? That's
Yeah,
pretty fucking cool.
Look at these
Yeah,
comic
Spawn
books.
is a fucking badass.
I don't even know who Spawn is.
How did,
Oh, man,
did you not
it's
grow up in the
literally-
90s?
It's literally like one of the coolest fucking comic books. This guy like was in Vietnam.
He was an assassin for the government, and then they killed him, and so he died, and he made a deal with the devil to be the devil's like reaper, and so so he could come back to so he only made that deal so he could come back to Earth and see his wife again. But when he got back to Earth, it was 5 years later, and she had already remarried his best friend, and he was also turned into this horribly fucked up monster that she couldn't even bear to see.
Crazy powers where he
Demon
like
powers,
slings chains around and shit.
So he's like
It's
a cooler
fucking
version of Ghost Rider.
Much
like-
cooler, yeah.
All right.
20 times at least, and like rips people to fucking shreds with gore.
So
Yeah,
I'm gonna
it was
surprise you. I
Mhm.
don't follow comic books. When the Iron Man movie came out, I just went to watch it because I heard Robert Downey Jr. was good in it. I didn't know anything about Iron Man.
He was really good.
Or Thor. Or
Here's the
Hulk.
funny thing.
Well,
I didn't actually know.
I knew about Hulk because I mean Hulk's thing is pretty simple. He's green, he gets angry, and he punches people.
I didn't actually know anything about Robert Downey Jr. until I saw
man,
the first time.
he's a fantastic actor.
Yeah.
He was off my radar. He wasn't.
No, he was perfect. The thing is, they wanted to make an Elon Musk style Iron Man. And so in Iron Man 2, he meets Elon Musk.
Yeah,
in
he was
the
there.
Building. Yep.
Yeah.
It's pretty sick. Yeah, I mean, I know that comic continuity. I consider comic continuity the same way I consider the Star Wars universe. It's okay to get rid of the old stuff because some of it was terrible. Some of it was really bad. Like when Luke Skywalker married a battleship, and that's canon.
I mean, these days it's hard to have anything that you love without having to like chop out giant parts of it that don't make sense to you. Because everything that's really good, they'll like try to put in too much stuff, and you'll just be like, "Well, that."
Well, no. So they bring Thrawn back in Star Wars Rebels, right? Like they're not getting rid of some of the good stuff; they're keeping the good stuff, but they're reintroducing it again.
Is it, I mean, I wonder if it's gonna.
I mean, Thrawn's
Because that's not easy to do. It's not easy to write Thrawn again.
I mean, sure, but on the other hand, they have $1 billion to do it with, so maybe give them a little credit.
But do they have Tim?
I don't know who Tim is.
He's the guy that wrote the original.
Tim Zahn?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Didn't he write
I
those?
mean, they got Kathleen Kennedy. That's good enough.
Okay.
There's a new Thrawn book. Yeah. Okay, so just real quick, I know I'm about to anger you, Virgil. Prepare for this. The third Thrawn book was garbage. It was absolute total horse shit. I know that's difficult to hear, but let me remind you. There's
past the part where Luke and Mara.
In Star Wars
Actually
canon, there's a
up.
character called Luke Skywalker, who we all know. There's also a character called Luke Skywalker. And there's a character called Luke Skywalker. This is canon. Look it up. And it's all from the third book. They make a clone of Luke called Luke Skywalker, and then he makes a
Didn't make-
clone of himself called Luke Skywalker in order to fight Skywalker. All of the Skywalker clones fight each other.
And there's no reason any one of them should have defeated the other.
No, they all defeat each other, and Luke Skywalker lives because Mara Jade kills them. I mean, that's spoilers, but the book is like 30 years old by now, so Vader is
I
Luke's
read it
father,
when I was
by
like
the way.
10. I was really into a bunch of Star Wars books when I was like really young.
Yeah,
I
but
read
some of them
because
are
I read
terrible.
those. Because the thing is, I read those, and then I read one of the like Rogue.
Yes. The X-Wing trilogy with the Rogues
X-Wing,
and
is
the
that
Gray
it?
Squadron are amazing.
Okay, so and then you read that.
is really good.
I haven't read that, but then you go and you try to read 10 more books, and you fucking read 10 shitty books.
Yeah.
And you wasted 30,000 pages of your life.
That's okay. You read Jedi, you read the X-Wing series, and you're good.
Yeah, I'll have to check
maybe
out
you
Jedi.
read the Thrawn trilogy. I don't know.
So there's a
First two
ton of
books.
new books coming out now, and I've heard that a bunch of them are great, but this is mostly hearing that from Jesse Cox, who I don't exactly...
I mean, Jesse
Sure.
Cox is great, but he also really loves Star Wars.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know
have-
how much I can trust him
I love
on
the
that.
shading that you're doing, by the way. It really like brings the bear out to have that crease around his neck too. I like it.
That's his necklace thing.
Yeah. No, I mean the crease that's beneath his ear. It really makes it seem like he's kind of got like a Head and Shoulders kind of thing going on.
Oh yeah, I kind
that
of
just-
when I'm doing lines,
Right there.
I kind of like to think in forms, and so I sort of like delineate where the forms are, so I can kind of find, the shapes, because I'm really big on construction. So like I could when I do my creative streams, I actually sort of go in and I talk about all the anatomy and the construction stuff. And
Works for me.
I was gonna say, when you guys were talking about Star Wars novels, I think I might have read one when I was very, very young. I'll tell you what I did read though is Warhammer 40,000 novels. That I read a ton of.
I heard, I don't know whether this is true, I heard someone tell me that canon, the first Inquisitor ever mentioned, is called
wait, hold on. No, I'm gonna answer this. Obi-Wan Clouseau.
Sherlock.
Obi-Wan Clouseau.
Yeah.
Yes, I actually mentioned that on a talk show recently, and I don't remember what the context was, but I know we were talking about stupid fantasy stuff from the past. And yes, that was in one of the very first issues of White Dwarf. They were talking about a campaign, and he named his Inquisitor army leader Sherlock Obi-Wan Clouseau, and it was the dumbest thing ever, but it was completely serious at the time.
So for me, there are kind of two ways to play Warhammer 40k. One is to take it absolutely seriously, and I don't find that very fun. And the other is to take it as a humorous romp through space and time. And that's the one that I latched to. The Roleplay Dark Heresy show was really good. There's a group that does Friday through Sunday, 72 hours of gaming. And then they post a review, like a replay of their actual game, in text format, called The Imperial Guardsmen. And they made a regiment of Imperial Guards on their first session and killed off all but 8 of them. So they killed like hundreds and hundreds of characters in one session. And then the remaining 8 ended up being their Inquisitor characters.
Yeah, I think I'd heard someone kind of did something like that. I thought it was...
It's very good. And they take... their Inquisitor is called Professor Oak. He gathers weird alien species from across the galaxy and brings them back to his command ship. They spend all their time on a ship infested with the warp taint, fighting demons on it, just so they can go and pick up like a
tribble.
No,
somewhere?
It's a Tyrannid. It's some sort of Tyrannid psyker creature called like a
Zoanthrope.
Yep. Yeah, and one of that becomes a demon host. I mean, just the whole series is hilarious. They're so like they're all so awful, and you could tell that they roll really bad. But then occasionally they're like, "Well, we did pick up that 20 piles of explosives earlier. Why don't we throw that out the airlock and set it on fire?"
Have you ever, first of all, have you ever actually played either Dark Heresy or Warhammer Fantasy RP?
I have. We played Dark Heresy. Let me tell you how it ended. They spent
Horribly.
the whole time investigating. They failed to find what they were looking for, and so they went to the cafeteria to get a meal, and one of the galley clerks that they'd been harassing the entire game was there and ran when they saw him. And so they shot him, and it turned out he was the heretic the entire time. And so they won the game.
By the way, people in chat are saying, how can you take Warhammer 40k seriously? I'm not going to take my shirt off because that would be weird, but I do have a Warhammer tattoo on my on one of my shoulders. And the reason I don't play Dark Heresy or those kind of games with people is because I would be the one who would get on people's cases for getting lore wrong.
You should see the play with TB. Yeah, Total Biscuit.
Heresy,
literally every single thing the GM says, he's like, "No, actually, da 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 da."
And then
the
GM doctrine.
The GM just rolls with it and pretends that the PC is wrong and that the NPC is wrong because the NPC did say something wrong. And so it gets corrected by the player and then plays out from there. The scenes are great.
By the Emperor, I have to kill this heretic. He pressed the sacred button of the Omnissiah's computer.
Yeah. I really love TB's character.
That would be me, because I'm just that awful.
So I have not read or done any of this beautiful stuff, other than watch some of that role play stuff. So that was the first context I had. And then I was, reading one of these things, fan theories on this and that. And it was a fan theory that Event Horizon was
I've heard that. Yeah.
And I was like, that's fucking beautiful. That's a beautiful thing. Like, I have to get into Warhammer and 40K and see what this is about. And so then I was just daunted. And like, I spent a little bit of time trying to like figure out, where do you start like reading, and where does like a beginner start? And like it was just too daunting for me to be able to like find a place where I could start reading and be introduced to stuff.
Have you ever done this? Go to the whatever the fuck the Warhammer 40k wiki is. It's the Lexicanum, I think.
Yep.
The Lexicanum. Just hit random page and start reading.
Yeah, exactly.
And like I promise you,
Control suggests.
You will be, you just hit random page and start going, and you will be like sucked in. It's horrible.
The things that I hear people telling me about, people will be like, and like these people are like this, and this thing works in this way, and it's all super intriguing and great ideas and original kind of weird stuff.
It is really dense, and the reason it's really dense is because there's just so much lore. And the reason there's so much lore is, here's what you got to understand. If you've never played the tabletop Warhammer, you have all these armies, right? The rulebook, and I still have my old 3rd edition rulebook, the rulebook and all the army codexes, which are like the individual rulebooks for each army, are like 1/3 rules and 2/3 like just lore.
That's
just
Games Workshop.
Yep, it's like writing about the world and like
you gotta
little
wipe away
like
all the previous rules and just introduce the lore.
It's just like fake handouts, and it's sort of like reading someone's D&D notes if they put so much work into their campaign prep, and then they put it all into a book. It's so there's a lot of stuff, and like every time a story, like a little short story in the rule book or a codex or something gets published, or in like a White Dwarf magazine or something, people will pull the details out of that and use that to kind of flesh out the complete picture of the world. And
all this stuff is just constantly coming out with new, fresh canon.
And they're reinventing stuff. They're changing and retconning stuff. They're like, it's a constant thing. I haven't kept up with Games Workshop in a long time. I stopped playing Warhammer 40k in college. But yeah, it's they keep it going, man.
I wouldn't want to fight this bear, by the way. I want to point out his like torso to hip ratio is amazing. Dude is the Rock.
You can't actually see his hips. I don't think they'd be they'd be like right here.
Oh, okay. So
he's like
super beefy.
Oh yeah, no, he's a fucking bear. And I haven't even like decided. Here's the thing: is I hate drawing fur. I can't like. Some people like doing it. I just don't.
Like he was saying earlier, we almost played Dragon Ball Z. Like, how would you have felt about that?
I could try and draw a Dragon Ball Z character.
Because you said you weren't like too into cartoons. It literally would have been like me playing as Krillin, fighting against Arthur as Frieza or something.
I really appreciate your willingness to come on the show and just do anything, by the way. Like, 5 minutes before the show, I was like, hey, listen, Virgil wants to play an anthropomorphic badger. You cool with that? You were like, yeah. And now you're like, I can't draw fur, but we're still like, look at all this fucking, like, look at this badger's hairdo, man. He's like, I'm so fucking rad right now. Look how ripped I am.
Yeah, I used to draw Dragon Ball Z when I was like in middle school. So it would have been a weird like time trip for me. But I don't know. Like I'll do it. I'll try anything. Like I can't guarantee it'll be good, but we'll give it a shot at least.
Who's that guy that did Breaking Bad? Bryan Cranston. You got to do the Bryan Cranston thing.
I don't know what that is.
Oh,
What's
didn't
the
hear
Bryan
about this?
Cranston?
All right. So in Malcolm in the Middle, he was the dad in Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah, that I am aware of. Yes.
All right. The crew would challenge him to do things, and so that's how he ended up being so zany on that show. Like, all of the weird stuff he does is because the crew was like, I don't think you'll do this. And he did it. And so they started a challenge called What Won't Bryan Cranston Do? And he did every single one, including the incredibly dangerous ones, until the show's insurance agent told them they had to stop because he might die.
Now, wait, do you have any examples of, like, stuff that he did?
All right, we'll look it up. I'm sure it's on Google. What will Bryan Cranston do?
Because I mean, I used to be a really weird cartoonist. I can show you stuff from back when I was doing graphic design work. I did some weird stuff, but I wasn't huge. I wasn't extremely prolific because I was very lazy, and so I don't know. Like, you know, I'm down to try just about anything.
Malcolm in the Middle. What will Bryan Cranston do? All right, I'm looking up some articles. I'll probably get some weird advertising, so if strange things come on the stream here. The network went in a different direction from hell. It went to go away from me. I'm trying to find these. It's there somewhere. Fun facts about Malcolm in the Middle. All right, I don't have any examples. I'm sorry.
No, there's it's a fact, but no one actually knows what Bryan Cranston ever did.
I mean, it's a badly kept secret. Trust me, it's there somewhere.
Is it classified?
I don't think it's. I don't think you can classify daytime television.
I mean, maybe it was like maybe they Streisanded it
behind the scenes. Oh, Streisanding? I don't think that's how you use the term Streisanding.
Well, if they tried to purge any record of it from the internet.
All right, you got me there. You have reversed it correctly. All right.
I don't know. Maybe
I'm pretty sure this is the thing. I remember reading it. I don't make things up. There's no point. I've heard this. I know as a young man, sometimes I'd be like, yeah, I did something. And someone would be like, did you really do that? And I'd be like, no. And that's when I realized lying about things was dumb.
Yeah.
The only thing I lie about is the amount of things I lie about.
Well played. I want to cut back. I'm definitely going to take another look at that Bryan Cranston thing and then Twitter it to you as soon as I find it.
Do it, man.
But I feel like I'm going to have to dive into the depths of the internet.
Yeah.
You think that we would have done Krillin versus Frieza, but if I'm doing Dragon Ball Z, man, there's no way I'm not making an original character. He's got blue hair, but he's a Saiyan. And he's got a sword that can cut through anything. And he's got all the moves that Goku has, plus all the other Saiyan fighters.
Yeah, I mean, I might want to be like Goku Sentai or something
But what happens?
something
is
ridiculous.
He goes Super Saiyan 2. Everyone is like, I can't believe you went Super Saiyan 2. Then he Kaioken's. And then he uses the solar flare move, and while you're distracted, he cuts you in half. That's his whole move. It always works. He has a 100% kill rate.
So I have a question, and this is actually a very important one. What is
But
the
if I
bear?
play Krillin, it doesn't matter because it's fine. I'll come back to life later.
What is the bear?
What is the bear's belt buckle?
Ooh, I don't remember the bear having pants.
Well, he does now. He does,
right.
no, not pants necessarily, but he has like
Oh, he has a belt?
hides and things
Oh,
around his
no.
waist.
He's probably got for like the weapons to strap them on, right? Yeah. I mean, he's got to carry the CX back somehow.
Yeah, no, but it's like a kilt. Sure, why not? A kilt made of hides. But what would he wear on his belt? Like what is? I mean, you invented it. What is Ursa? What is Ursa
it's
about?
like battle. Maybe there's like the jaw, like a spiky jaw, like a bone jaw with
I like
teeth.
that. Yeah.
Oh, I like that. Let me find a picture of a jaw, an animal jaw.
Sick. I mean, one person had pants.
Yeah, he was the only one.
Skinny jeans.
He knows
Weighted
how.
training pants. I mean, I was thinking about Dragon Ball Z when that happened.
Highly
That moment
advanced
when
tactics,
Goku lets
weighted training pants.
training things off, and everyone's like, it just damaged the ground with how heavy it was. He must be so strong. I want to say, by the way, there are a lot of terrible abridged series, but Dragon Ball and Yu-Gi-Oh are unbelievably good.
Yeah, I love
They
that.
got good voice
Ball.
actors, but more importantly, they got really good writers.
Legit have not watched Dragon Ball Z or anything like that since middle school.
So Dragon Ball Abridged is where they redo all the voice acting and cut out 90% of the bullshit.
Like yelling for 3 episodes.
Yes. And they do it to make fun of all of the characters. Like, Vegeta is even edgier and a piece of shit. People are making fun of him constantly.
Yeah, it's so good.
Gohan is constantly pointing out how his dad is a complete moron.
Goku is so retarded. Like,
He
severely.
is. That
The
is
one
canon.
episode where they're like, Goku, all you do is steal everybody else's moves. He's like, that can't be right. Master Roshi's like, oh, Kamehameha. And then he's like, you stole my solar flare. And then he's like, well, what about Kaioken? And then Master Kai is like, my name's literally in the move, Goku.
Wait, does that mean they just like redubbed like scenes that had nothing to do with that?
Yes.
It will blow your mind. Like
Dragon Ball Abridged
if this
is
sounds at all
good.
interesting to you, you will love it. It's so good. It's so well done.
It is amazingly well done. Nappa stays alive for a super long time as Ghost Nappa.
He haunts Vegeta. Vegeta!
They edit him into the scenes.
The spooky little ghost like floating around. Hey, Vegeta.
They do the same thing with Yu-Gi-Oh! And I think the Yu-Gi-Oh! Is even funnier.
I'm not familiar, so I didn't watch it.
You haven't watched Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged?
I mean, I haven't seen any Yu-Gi-Oh! Either, so I don't think it would make sense.
No, Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged is hilarious, trust me. They're like, this is a dramatic moment. The fate of entire nations might stand on this children's card game. Let us sit down and play a children's card game. I'm going to send your soul to the Shadow Realm, I guess. Or, no one's ever actually died there. No, it's very good. They're both extremely good series. I highly recommend them. When you're not watching my stuff, or twitch.tv/circum5 or twitch.tv/exploding dice.
Someone else.
I got
just
there.
someone else.
I was gonna say Askren, but then I realized that your Twitch isn't Askren.
No.
I got there though. I got there. It took me a minute. I had
It's
to stop
alright.
myself.
Hey, go ahead and go. Don't shout at me. Shout out someone else.
No, I need to shout out you. You're literally here on the show.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
literally
part
had
of
a
this-
tweet that was
part
like,
of the
I
thing.
would like to work with other DMs. And I was like, I have an art show.
Is that why you sent
Yeah.
me an email?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was because you were like, oh man, this guy's really cool. I
mean,
envy him and I want to work with him one day. No,
I wanted to work with you when you said I would like to work with other people, and I was like, that's the kind of people I want to work with. People who want to work with me.
No, my problem is that I've been dealing with this a lot with my friends who DM and my other streamers. Is we like, in fact, I'm not going to tell, I can't say who it was with, but I was talking with some friends about doing a new campaign together, and we were all real excited, and then
the time
silence
came out.
Nope, not even that. We knew what day we wanted to do it on. We knew it was going to be. We knew how we were going to do it. Silence fell over the group because we're like, so whose channel is it going to be on?
That's always good to set up first.
You fools.
That's we're all literally just sitting there like, we're like, I'd like to have more content on my channel.
There's an easy solution to this.
You alternate.
Have one person stream it, and you give everybody guest keys, and you flip through each channel every week. You're like, all right, it's gonna be on X person, and if you want to watch it on my channel, watch it here because I'm hosting it.
I think the Wax Stevens group does that. I have never done it before, mostly because I've never really worked with other streamers before. Pretty much on my channel, like I'm the only DM there, and so I desperately want to get other DMs on my channel because I can't DM 5 games a week. Like I just can't do it.
I mean, not with a full-time job. I used to do 7 games a week, and then I burned out after a year of that.
Oh, yeah.
And now I have trouble running 2 games a week. Discord, play-by-post.
Well, you have like 90 people in your Discord now, right?
I mean, sure. Yes, it's very busy.
It's a lot of role-playing.
I mean, I want a full week of content on the channel. I can't physically DM a full week of content.
I know that feeling. Yeah, I mean, it's a good thing that we are here to talk. Maybe we'll talk later. But I know
I wish I was more confident.
Virgil, okay, wait. I got to get the glasses because I'm doing that thing where I'm so Virgil, aren't you looking to be in more role-playing game content? And aren't you both a player and GM?
That's right, folks. I have experience running and playing games. Most evenings, Pacific time, on Twitch. I right now have all types of openings, like every evening on the weekday.
Let's get past that. Wow, nope, still bad.
Which is why, yeah, that's when people stream anyway. It's like in the evenings, Pacific time, on the weekdays.
No, we stream America time on the East Coast.
Yeah. The only real time zone, which is ironic because 90%.
Thank God, that's right. You said you were in the New York time zone.
I'm in New York, yeah. Which is ironic because 90% of the people on Twitch are not on the Eastern time.
I know they're all West Coast. They're all here.
Yeah, it's legit. I love it. West Coast, best coast. That's why.
No way.
East
You've got
Coast,
the banks.
least coast.
Hamilton knows what's up.
The banks.
Yeah. You didn't listen to the Hamilton musical?
I mean, no, but I mean, I'm sure you do have nice banking establishments.
Yeah, we do. It's called New York City. Where the banks are. That's why we have Wall Street.
Well, we literally have a financial district. Name another city that does.
Good luck growing avocados.
Actually, Atlanta has a financial district. Several other.
I thought you were going to say Atlanta has an avocado.
Avocado district. We need an avocado district.
What we need is avocados and cheap box wine. Go to California. It's the giving the middle finger to France. No longer can we get the fruits of French labor. Avocados and wine.
Yeah, I want to. I have all kinds.
Oh man, I like the hatching you've got on there. Oh, the
lashings?
Man,
lashing together.
Really authentic too. Yep. Damn it. Need to learn how to draw. No, I don't have the time.
Well, what you do is you take a pencil, right? And once it's in your hand, you touch it to the paper.
I'm gonna show you some of my drawings sometime.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, so the thing is, you're gonna be like, "Oh, are you possessed by a spawn of the devil?"
Dude, I could show you my paintings, and you would fucking laugh your ass off.
I mean, I have no visual mental acuity. Like, I cannot look at a thing and then like transform it either into a picture in my mind or into a 2-dimensional image. Like, that is not, and I can't imagine a thing and then like see it on the paper. I just can't do any of this.
I can't even draw railroad ties disappearing into the distance, and that's literally just 2 lines getting closer together.
Vanishing point is hard, man.
I mean, I can draw an okay circle about the size of a dime.
I could do that with a circle, but only if I was lucky. What do they call that thing?
Oh, what, with a compass?
A compass. Yeah.
I'm an engineer. I really should have known that.
You know, circle thing. Hand me the circle thingy.
All right.
I'm engineering over here.
And whatnot. You gotta edit in on
I'm
whatnot.
engineering over here. Okay. All right, Virgil. I feel like your engineer impression has gravely insulted me.
That's just the engineers I know, man. That's just the ones that I hang out with.
Wait, hold on. Are you saying is his engineer voice insulting, or is it the
I
content?
think it's the quality. It's the
content.
quality of engineering.
I can
that's
literally tell you that as an engineer, I've never said I'm engineering.
I'm engineering.
I'm engineering over here.
What are you doing here?
Hey, get out of here! What are you doing? Huh?
I'm sweating. I'm engineering so hard.
You pay your dues lately? To the engineering union?
Be a shame if something happened to your plans there, your blueprints.
Man. I'm working towards that, by the way. I don't know if I'm ever going to get there.
Blueprints?
Yeah, you got to have 5 years engineering experience on top of being engineering training.
Before you can make blueprints?
Before you can sign off of them legally. You have to be certified.
I mean, it's...
You basically have to have a college degree, then go take a test that is your entire college experience, and the college experience of every other branch of engineering compressed into one test that takes 12 hours. And then you need to do 5 years of engineering work, and then get 3 people to say that you're competent enough that they would trust you to make civic plans for the public.
Well, you don't want just like guys drawing up bridge plans.
Yeah, you really don't. I mean, look at all the people that put garbage materials inside of their bridges, and then the bridges fall down.
So yeah, but couldn't you just Google bridge and then copy it?
Oh boy,
I mean, if
I can't even tell you all of the problem with that. Let me just say that each.
You're like holding up. You got like a printout. You're like at the site,
guys.
That
one
looking at the printout. You're looking
that
at the
one
site.
goes to that one connects to the other one over there.
You know how
it's a triangle.
They have those guys out there with the surveying equipment, and it looks like they aren't doing anything, but they spend hours like standing and then moving 5 inches and standing,
and then looking through their little thing.
That is absolutely critical. Like each individual site that you want to do engineering on, no matter what type it is, you need to analyze the situation and come up with a unique solution. If you could just copy paste stuff, there wouldn't be such an enormous demand for engineering.
I like to imagine that those little eye things that they look through, you know, in a city building game where like you have the building and you have to like mouse around and it's red, and then you have to find
they're just like placing
they're
placing the bridge.
It's like right in the center and it's red, and they're like shifted over an inch and then now it's green. Like, there,
build it there.
Got it, guys.
That's gonna be stuck with me forever now. I'm never gonna be able to unsee that.
That's beautiful. Oh man. They have to rebuild the bridge in my town, and it's like the bridge that goes across Paper Mill Creek into the town of Point Reyes Station, where I'd have to go if I wanted to do like shopping or anything. So they're gonna take this bridge down, and it's gonna just fuck everything. It's Highway 1. It's this huge highway.
Yeah.
No one's gonna be able to drive like up the fucking highway, giant ass Highway 1, where everyone, fucking so many cars every day.
Are really important.
And then getting around is going to be a huge bitch. I'm so lucky that I don't have to cross it to like get to my job. But and they were like, yeah, it's going to be like, it was like years that it's going to take.
I gotta tell you, if they're bringing the bridge down and building a new one, they probably have a pretty good reason. They don't do that for fun.
No, they're bringing the whole thing down, rebuilding it, and the brutal thing is that fucking right there is the local vet, and they're like, the county gave Caltrans permission to put all of their dump all the stuff they're ripping out there and park all their vehicles there and do all that shit there. So the vet has to close down. Like they can't perform veterinary services with all that heavy equipment.
That means the county has judged that bridge is that important that they
yeah. And people are pretty upset that there's going to be no local veterinarian that's been there for 70 years or whatever.
I mean, bridge science is real serious. When bridges fail, it's super bad.
I don't even feel comfortable driving across it anymore. I go as fast as I can.
Good. I hate the paper.
It's not very long at all. I feel like if you were on it when it started going, you could gas it and get off.
There's no way. Nope.
It's like 40 feet long.
You know how many people survived bridge crashes? No one.
I've jumped off of it into the creek and survived before.
I mean, that's one thing. Being strapped into a floating hunk of metal that falls is quite another.
Of course, there's all this. It used to be, the creek actually used to be hella deep underneath the bridge, and you could jump off it like no problem. And we used to try to race the bus from school when school got out. We'd run down the school hill and try to get up on the bridge and jump off when the bus went by.
I gotta tell
but
you,
now there's like 3 feet of water down there. Last time I looked, it was like, and the whole thing's filling up with sand and infill.
I spent an hour looking at GoPro footage of people who do cliff jumps with GoPros on, but almost don't make it. It was bad. Like, I want to go throw up afterwards. It's terrifying. Like,
dude, anything
universally are like, oh shit, when they realize that they're like an inch away from instant death.
Anything with a GoPro where it's like any involving heights is always, it makes me nauseous.
Oh really? No, there's some very good wingsuit, like squirrel suit type stuff.
I mean,
those
yeah, if
fantastic.
it's like really like they're kind of calm and it's steady, yeah. But if it's like they're jumping and they're like fucking like swing around and you're like, nope, I don't want to see the end of it. I don't want it.
It's bad. GoPros are the key to.
Bear in mind, I have actually seen what happens when someone attempts a base jump and then fails, because I spent part of my summer as an emergency first responder in the Adirondacks, and it is not pretty.
Yeah, I don't think so.
The Adirondacks are pretty though.
Yeah, not the people that fall off the mountain.
California that just no equipment climbed a friggin' mountain. That's terrifying.
Yeah,
there's a bunch of people that do free climbing.
People do that on buildings, and that's even fucking freakier.
But there was a ton of people that would do free climbing when I was up in like Oregon and stuff, because there's all these huge rocks on the beach, so you can like climb like a 30-foot big old rock and like, you know, do ropeless climbing where you might not die if you fall.
Netflix had a show called The Beast or something. It was like a sports competition for who's the strongest strongman or whatever. All of the climbers ended up winning. They're like section.
Well, dude, have you ever tried to climb like one of those climbing walls?
They're
strong. You do it like, I mean, seriously, I am like a little wiry guy that's like built for climbing. You do it like twice in your work.
I know, that's what bothers me about Assassin's Creed and Horizon Zero Dawn. Like, they climb so fast. I'm like, that would be exhausting. You
would have to stop and rest. Like, you would have to. Yeah, because climbing, like lifting your weight and shit, and like the way they do it. I just remember like looking around, and there was like 70 hot women that were like making me look like I had no lungs.
No, don't worry.
They were
that
just
happens
like
in my gym all the time. Yeah,
powering up these fucking walls.
Yeah, I used to do rock climbing, and now I don't because I'm lazy as fuck. But
okay, so am I accurate that like there are just a billion hot rock climbing chicks?
I mean, I didn't do it I did it at a Boy Scout camp, so I don't really know.
So all the hot Boy Scouts.
Yeah, that's different demographic.
How high
I think.
of a rank did you get on Boy Scouts?
I have Eagle Scout and Vigil Honor. Those mean anything to you?
Scout. I was whatever's directly below Eagle. Life.
Yeah, something like that.
Before I left. I was also part of the secret cult, Order of the Arrow. That's what it was called.
Yep, that's the vigil honored thing.
Yeah, I left in the last year. We had a huge kerfuffle over the Jewish members of our scout pack. I left.
Why is that?
Oh, okay.
I mean, scouts are partially
No, they're
religious,
right. Yeah,
Sort
they're
of,
super
yeah.
Catholic.
but it's not like a
So
requirement.
here's the deal.
I didn't think.
They were like, come to our non-denominational religious service on Sunday. And they were like, well, we actually practice on Saturday. And they're like, no, it's cool. It's non-denominational. We get there and they're like, Jesus Christ, come say. And I was like, no, this is Catholic. And afterwards,
They don't understand.
Afterwards, the Jewish kids were like, this is ridiculous. I can't believe you made us sit through that. And it was one of the, like, it was seriously one of those ones that was like, and the Jews killed Jesus.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is embarrassing. Like, I can't believe you forced us to come to this.
I hate it
I'm
when
not
you're
even
like,
Jewish, and I'm super offended on their behalf. And they were like, if you don't like it, leave. And I was like, cool, I'm out.
Yeah,
it's
I never dealt with anything like that.
I mean,
It was
I
just
was in a,
maybe because like here on Long Island, no one gives a shit.
I
Like,
was in a terrible. Well, first off, it was in New Jersey, and you know New Jersey.
oh well, that's
shitted.
yeah, no.
I know, as a
don't.
New Yorker, you know that New Jersey shit at everything. I hate New Jersey. New Jersey has the worst drivers in the entire world, and I've been to several continents, so I can confirm that. They're bad. They're really bad. They don't know how to drive. You were a Cub Scout? Oh, I was all the Scouts, baby. I was
now
like,
that I think of it,
Meatloaf,
Australians
Tiger
have great
Cubs.
drivers.
I went all the way there, and I quit at the last second because I was so furious. I was filled with rage.
Well, they want to use their like cool, fun thing to like force people to share their ideas that
Well,
they're not
I mean,
interested
Boy Scouts is undergoing some changes now.
Yeah, you know what the thing is, they got into. Here's the thing is, a while ago they were in the news because someone was trying to like get their badge, and they were an atheist, and the Boy Scouts were like, no, you can't do that. That's not part. But the thing about it is, like, that was never an experience that I had. Like, no one gave a shit, you know. Like, that was never a question.
Is different. Like,
no, I know, and it depends on the culture. It depends on where you're from. You know, it's hugely dependent on where you live. You know, it's like that. Nothing like that ever came up.
So the funniest thing is that this guy was like, you know what? If we force these Jews to sit in a room and tell them that they murdered Jesus, then we'll win them over. Like,
possibly, or it could have just been like a could have just been like a dumb guy that didn't know the difference.
That's what I was going to say too, is that like a lot of people have no idea that Judaism and Christianity are not like super, super close and like nearly identical. They just don't, they're ignorant of it.
For those who haven't been on like scouting trips, our troop was only like 20 people, and there were hundreds of people at this camp and at that service.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, try to be gay in the Boy Scouts. Yeah. I think recently I saw
they don't care. They don't care anymore.
Oh, yeah, recently they were way more accepting, but it was real bad.
But again, no. Here's the thing.
There was no Boy Scouts around here.
I worked at the local camp for years, and I know 5 people off the top of my head that I worked with, regular good friends of mine who were openly, like, not openly, but I mean, they were gay guys. And
you mean like not trying to hide it and just being themselves?
Yeah, I mean, they weren't like hitting on the dudes that they went to camp with, but it was like, you know, if you met them, it was fairly obvious. You know, you knew it. And that's not. I'm not saying like that's how gays act. I'm saying that was just, you know, it was one of those things where if you met them, you'd understand. But yeah, no one cared. It never came up. No one said anything. No one was like, "Oh, this guy, like, let's go make fun of Josh Green, like, because he's what, you know." And I'm like, no, it's whatever. It's yeah. People have had those experiences, but then I'm like, I don't care. Like, we had everyone, and we had girls that worked at the camps.
I want to tell you, by the way, America, I think, is the only country that its scouting organization is still divided between. I mean, everybody else, Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts are one. It's a little weird.
Yeah, I never like I understood there is a separate sort of organization that you can go to that they created for like when you're 14 or older, I think that's mixed. But I don't know, like I again, the camp I worked at, like we had girls working there ever since I was a kid. I don't even remember it coming up.
Very different scouting experience than me. That's what
apparently that's what I'm saying. Like apparently that's just it's New York and New Jersey are two very different places.
I would have liked to have graduated out, but all I've got is my shitty. How much I hate the boys, and they're getting better.
And you're
better.
yeah, and you also have your pride.
No, I lost that years ago, decades ago, my friend.
Like along with all my hopes and dreams, I kept them all in my heart, but lost them when it shattered.
What are you, the end of a novel?
Yeah.
I feel like you could be narrating The Sandbox. We never saw Virgil after that moment. He disappeared at the end of the night. Some people said they saw him in Canada. Guides don't have cookie power. Oh boy. All right. Well, listen, if you want our American Girl Scout cookies, you can order them year-round on the
Black market, though. You got
Black market.
Black market. You can literally just order them directly from the girls.
Like, can you? Because I remember back
mint. You need thin mint?
Before they started selling them on the internet, like through the website, like you could buy them on eBay.
Buy anything on eBay.
The concept was always funny to me.
Nobody goes undercover to get Boy Scout popcorn. Cheddar's good.
No, fucking, of course not.
Man, that was difficult. Selling stuff, going door to door.
Yeah, I just never bothered.
Yeah, it was bad.
Oh my god, I got to draw barefoot.
Got down there finally. Well, we got to start wrapping up. We're like,
do it, man.
Yeah,
midnight. We're at midnight.
I'm gonna.
That was a great time, though.
I mean, don't stop drawing. Of course, you do what you want to do, but I got to start wrapping down the show.
Yeah.
Let's do some outros. Virgil, who are you? Where can people find you? And what do you do?
Hey everybody, it's Virgil, also known as Zircon5 on the interwebs. I do this and that, hither and thither. Role play stuff happening like this gets hosted over at twitch.tv/Zircon5. My music gets uploaded to soundcloud.com/Zircon5. I suggest you go check it out. There's some great stuff there, free downloads, free music. It's good stuff. And I was very glad to be on this show today. It was great to be back on your channel, Arthur, and it was awesome meeting you, Askren. I really liked your drawings, too.
I also liked your drawings. Askren, let's hear more about you and your drawings. Where can people find you, and what do you do?
Hi. I got hold on. Should I turn my camera on now, or should I keep it on the tablet? Like,
I mean, your camera. I'm okay. Listen, I'll get your face here real quick.
All right.
You can do all.
We're gonna do some intense stuff here, guys.
Oh my God, he's gonna do it, guys.
We're gonna do it. All right.
He's done it.
So here we go. I gotta get the tiny Askren face.
Tiny, just microscopic.
It's very small, but now I'm gonna make it bigger. Right. Look at this science right here.
Oh my God.
Yep, we're working on it.
Oh my God.
Look at this. Look at this.
This is technology. This is technology at its finest.
I know. They're intense. The modern age. All right. That. All right. We got to do a little bit more clipping.
Just a little bit more. Hi.
Good to see you. I haven't seen you before.
No.
This is the first time I've ever seen you.
Just leave it like that. Oh, I was going to say leave it like leave it that small.
We're good.
Hi, guys. My name is Astrin. I am the host and dungeon master over on a channel called twitch.tv/exploding dice, where we have live role-playing games Wednesday and Saturday with Iron Gods and Writhing Moon. I have a talk show called Fuzzy Dice where I hang out with like nerd celebrities and other people, and we talk D&D and answer your questions. Creative Mondays. And so every so often you can find me doing something I call Diced Coffee, which is just hanging out and talking and playing video games. That's pretty much it. I mean, I just like to hang out and meet people and have fun. And this was a lot of fun. Obviously, big thank you to Arthur for inviting me on, giving me the opportunity to come hang out and do something new and weird on a Monday night.
Oh, I know. It's
This
weird. Yeah.
Yeah, it got pretty intense.
Yeah.
No, I like the concept. It's I'm glad you guys stretched your definition to let me hang out here and doodle your characters.
I think we can pretty solidly say you're an artist with a bear man literally going rah, and then like
That's pretty amazing.
a kung fu duck flicking feather. The Maeve shadow hand.
Yeah, I wish I got to the duck. No, as a, thank you guys for having me. This show was really fun. I think you guys, the role playing was just a joy to listen to. It was crazy. It was, the animal jokes were on point, and so definitely had a lot of fun here. If you guys want to hang out with me or talk D&D or something like that, just hit me up on Twitter. It's just at Askren.
You have a Discord?
I do. I have the Bomb Squad Discord.
Let's talk about Discord because Discord works a lot better for me.
Oh my
Discord
god!
All the time.
Yeah. I mean.
Don't worry. Do you have a Discord command on your Twitch page?
I think I do.
All right, I'll work on it. I'll get there.
Yeah. I can drop an invite link or something. I don't even whatever. I have a Discord. It's the Bomb Squad Discord, and we hang out there and talk shit and say the word butts a lot.
That sounds reasonable.
Yeah.
Well, as long as we're making animal references, I guess you could say we barely got to the end of the show, and even though I need to duck out, rabbit, wolf, or I'm just saying words now. I ran out of, I was trying to do it as I was going.
You had like a string that you were setting up.
I know, but I forgot midway through where I was going. Well, I don't want to badger all of you. Oh, I know. I'm trying very hard. I'm Arthur Perkins. This is APGamingREAL. I've run about 30 different role-playing systems. We've got about 3,000 hours of content now of role-playing games. And a lot of it is terrible, but occasionally some of it is good. You could catch up with everything I do on YouTube since it's all there, including what you're watching right now will be there tomorrow. I want to thank Askren. I know he keeps undervaluing himself, but this is some hella good art.
Yeah, I love that one too.
I've been known to self-deprecate. It's a personal flaw.
Okay, it's great.
I do the opposite, and it seems to work great for me.
It's just self-aggrandizement all day.
Yeah,
I'm the greatest. Everything I do is bigly huge.
Bigly huge.
Huge. We'll be back with this show next week with Aerocyto and Ratosaurus, and I'm hoping maybe we can do Star Wars, but we'll have to talk. We'll probably just decide last second like we did with this show. And yeah, just all sorts of crazy stuff happening all the time. Thank you so much, guys. We should definitely stay in contact maybe if you want to. Not that you have to. Anyway.
I've already deleted you off my contact list.
Fantastic. I mean... I've had that.
Banned from his Twitch channel.
Virgil knows that I think you did it as well, but I know that I did it for what's his name? What was that show that we were on that was horrible and involved a bunch of dicks?
Oh, DP.
DP. Jeez.
I've never heard of it.
Dream Punch. It was awful. It was literally
the worst day of my life.
I have a rule while role playing. If I wouldn't show it to my mother, I won't do it. And Dream Punch was like, I'm gonna play an old Jedi, and his lightsaber is his dick. And I was like, this is gonna be 4 hours of fucking hell.
Yeah.
And it was
so bad.
It was real bad. It was for a charity, which is the only reason I stuck around.
Oh yeah, that's why I was like, I forgot about that because I was like, why did we sit there for 4 fucking hours suffering through that?
We did it for the kids. And then I never talked to him again.
Yeah, I was like, block, and
So yeah, if you block us immediately after this show, we'll know why, Askren, and we won't hold it against you. It's because we talked about bears, and you just don't like bears. Let's wrap up, guys. Thanks for joining us, audience. There were 1,000 other things you could be doing with your time, but you spent your time with us, which is fantastic. Thank you. Have a good night. See you. Monday's grand.